You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, and
What's
welcome to a live Thursday edition of Reconnected. We are kind of barely holding it together. Will is broadcasting live from the beaches of North Carolina. How we doing?
I'm on a barrier island where sustainable environmentalists have warned people to stop building for decades. Right across the street are three new buildings. 3 new rental houses being built out. Oh! I heard a guffaw to my right.
You did. We got a special guest to start the show off with tonight, who is not even in the.
Let's get you in the frame.
Well, this is going swimmingly so far. Say hello to Will Dodson's wonderful sister, Georgia. Welcome, Georgia.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Can you hear me?
I can, very well.
Okay.
For those that don't know, Will has talked about this before. Georgia is an editor. And,
yes.
And we mean like a real editor.
Not a fake one.
Not a fake one, which there are many of those. Let's talk about some of these things. You have done some editing on some major things that have been released in the last couple of years. We've talked before about Madhu, but I don't think we've talked about Dirty Pop at all. Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Sure. So I edit documentaries, which is actually a pretty specific distinction. And Dirty Pop, I worked on. I think I finished that end of 2023. I worked with another editor on that. My episode is episode 2 out of 3. So you should like that one the best. And yeah, I am of that generation, I guess, the Backstreet Boys era, but I didn't listen to any of that stuff. So then going through all the archival, I became a fan retroactively. Love O-Town.
I didn't think we were going to get boy band politics into tonight's discussion, but I love it.
I can keep going if you want on that.
I mean, I'd love to hear all the gritty details, sure.
I mean, actually, I can't. Yeah, but that show was actually mostly about Lou Pearlman's Ponzi scheme. He basically built all those boy bands on the back of a Ponzi scheme, and he died in prison, which I didn't realize. You know, all this stuff happened, I think, before things really went viral in our world. So I was in college, I think, when that happened. So, or somewhere around there. So didn't know. Now I do. But that's on Netflix. And you can check that out.
And then your first thing, we never talked about this on the show at all, I don't think. What is Underplayed?
Underplayed. So I started out as a commercial editor also, and I still edit commercials. Some really great Rachel Ray dog food commercials. You might have seen them. They're amazing. But I started out a commercial post, and you meet a lot of directors that way that do commercials as well as films. And so in 2019, I booked, that was my first feature doc that I booked with a director who had also never done a feature doc. She was a commercial director kind of in my sphere. But she had done some short documentaries, and that was about women in electronic music, specifically DJs. Yeah, just like that, if you didn't know. And
Will's acting tonight has been on point.
Yeah, he's been really fun. No, I don't. I love my brother. And so that's about women in electronic music. And we focus on, I think it's 4 women that were in the top 100, the DJ Mag 100, or maybe it's Billboard. I can't remember. I think it's Billboard, like top 100 DJ list. And there were only 5 women in 2019 that were on that list. So 4 of them we profile in the movie, but we also talk about, we profile a lot of underground DJs as well who are trying to make it. And then we talk about how electronic music started with a lot of female pioneers, like, why am I blanking now on the Doctor Who lady? You guys know who I'm talking about.
I do.
And no. Who's the lady? Daphne. Ooh, this is bad. I should have studied. Yeah. Lots of women.
We'll cut it in post, I promise.
I've forgotten. Just like history. Just erased. So it's about that. Yeah. And that was a crazy movie to edit because we had a horrible short schedule, and yeah, it was insane, but it turned out okay.
Well, with editing, one of the big things I got to hear about, you've worked with Netflix, you've worked with some of the others. How debilitating is the notes process from them?
It depends on. It depends on the. I signed an NDA. Yes, it is Delia Derbyshire. Thank you. Although, no, Delia Derbyshire didn't do Doctor Who, I don't think. No, not that either. Yes, Daphne Oram. I think it's Daphne Oram. Maybe. I don't know. And also we talk about Wendy Carlos and all that stuff. Yeah, Stan. I see you, Stan. The one person I know on here. Oh yeah. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the notes process. It depends on the project because we get shielded a lot. Like a lot of times I'm working with a production company that's the intermediary between me and the studio. So for instance, Dirty Pop was actually Time Studios. So I interacted with the Time Studios people. They dealt with Netflix. I just finished a Hulu show and I was not shielded from the notes. In fact, I got emails directly from the people at, actually, that was ABC.
Can you say what it is?
It's a true crime show. I don't think I'm allowed to say because it's not done yet and they're not sure of the title, but it's a true crime show.
It should be really easy to find. A true crime show on Hulu. They've only done...
It's a true crime show. It's got a colon in the title. It's something, 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 something. It actually will be easy to find, though, because it's about... I can tell you it's about a dentist who murdered his wife on safari in Zambia.
Okay, so there will only be like 4 to choose from.
Yeah. Just look for the safari murder. Yeah, honestly, it depends. Sometimes the notes are better than the people actually working, like some of the producers working on the movie from the production company.
Right.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
That's not bad then. That's good.
Yeah.
With them, what is the most difficult thing to edit some of these that you are detached from? Is there anything for you that you are struggling with to find inspiration or put things together that you were just straight given?
So you mean a project that I'm just like not interested in?
Yeah, well, that, and you're not on set with them. You don't have any say in what's going on some of the filming, so you're just given a bunch of footage.
That's actually not always the case. With Madhu, they were filming while I was editing. So I was able to, like, they would be shooting either in England or in Nigeria, and then we would be building stuff, and I would be like, oh, maybe we need this. And especially towards the end of the edit, they would go back because one of the directors was located, he lives in Lagos. And so he was able to like go do pickup shots and stuff like that. So sometimes I do have a hand in that. And on the show that I just finished, I actually went, like we did pickup shots and went with the DP and the director and shot a bunch of stuff that we all came up with just from the edits that we had built. But that being said, I actually have been very lucky that all the long form stuff that I've worked on so far, I am interested in. and connected to. I would say the commercials I work on. I just finished a pharma campaign. I do a lot of like pharmaceutical ads because I'm a good person.
You should tell him that your voiceover career too.
That was such a Dodson joke to hear.
I do though. Listen, I got to pay my bills, and that stuff I don't like.
Bills pay the bills.
But yeah.
Very Dodson joke. I love it.
Yeah.
So when you're doing some of these series, are you given any sort of outline specifically how you're supposed to set it up, or are you choosing a lot of it?
Again, this is a project by project basis, so it depends on the director. I will say a lot of men that I work with don't give me anything, and I do all the outlines, and I've had directors that I write their emails for them to the studios because they can't like write a decent email. The women that I work with are usually more organized. This is just true.
I feel like I'm sensing a pattern. Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't. It's just true. I was laughing about it today because I just started a movie and the director is super organized and she's already done all these outlines and it's a doc and like you can never really know what it's going to be because you got to get it in there. But like I don't know. There's other projects I've done. I've had to completely, which is fine. I really like that, but it's nice to have a little bit of help. So. I don't think so. Yeah.
Any of your finished projects that have been out in the world that there's something that you regret in the edit and you watched it afterwards went, damn it, should have changed that.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what you think.
A lot of things. Very specifically, there in the beginning of like the first act of Madhu. I also know I go back and forth because I know that I was trying to solve, and this actually speaks to your question about notes. Like, I should probably not be so like notes are super annoying. You just figure out how to address them the way that you want to address them and make Disney or whoever think that you like did what they wanted. In Madhu, I feel like, I don't know, there's just one scene that bugs me in the first act, and I would recut it and maybe move it. And if it were up to me, I would cut it all together, but it has to be in the movie. So
we could do a contest where if anybody can guess the right scene, we can give them a free copy of something. Not Madhu, because it's not on DVD. You should ask Georgia about her physical media collection.
I don't have any physical media. I exist purely in the ether.
All in the streaming world.
I'm in the cloud.
So on that note, just very detailed here, what are your real thoughts about Disney as a corporation? And can you speak clearly into the microphone? I'm just kidding.
About Disney's what?
Disney as a corporation.
Oh, no comment.
Streaming wise, I feel like that's opened a lot of opportunities for stuff like this, though, because obviously back, when we were doing broadcast stuff, the number of true crimes with colons in the title was significantly less. I love the number of opportunities coming out now, but as far as streaming, do you feel like your work gets seen enough? Do you feel like you wish they would do more to promote your stuff?
There's a lot to stream. Promote my work specifically, you mean?
Just that show. We'll talk about Madhu specifically, or
I'll talk about Madhu. I feel like it was marketed weirdly. I mean, it was Disney. It was marketed as a children's movie, and it's not necessarily a kids' movie. Like the poster looks like Nigeria Peter Pan or something. It's like so horrible, but that's what it is. And I feel like they didn't do a big push for it. Although we did just get nominated in December for the International Documentary Association Awards for Best TV Documentary, which is like it is a huge deal. So that was good because I felt like we got shunned a lot. I think because it was Disney, but yeah, I think I don't know. I wish it could have been in a theater. I got to see it at a film festival, so I got to see it on a big screen.
That helps.
Yeah, but I'm a hypocrite because I feel like I go to the theater very rarely.
Right.
Yeah. I'm that person like in my bed watching stuff on my iPad.
Oh.
Sorry.
At least it's not a phone.
Yeah. Or my phone. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Last couple questions for the true nerds. What do you edit on professionally?
I'm an Avid editor. I edit in Avid. And I can use Premiere and I do, but I hate it. It's the worst.
Is that what you use?
I do not use Premiere. I use Final Cut Pro.
Oh yeah, I don't even know how to use like Final Cut Pro is like somebody asked me how to use that once and I opened it and I was like, what? I don't know. The original Final Cut Pro, that's what I learned on in like 2001 or something. But
it's a little bit different now.
Yeah. So documentary editors, and I feel like people that work on like big shows that have multiple editors, like you generally use Avid because you can work on a central server more easily. You can work in the same project and just pass things back and forth through bins. And Premiere doesn't really, it has a thing called Teams now that you can use, but it's not, I think it's called Teams. It's not a staple. And then there's a lot of dorky reasons why documentary editors prefer it, but I'm not going to get into it.
Well, I'd love to hear about that later, maybe. When you were trying to get to know these tools, was there anything that you found more helpful for somebody that's watching and maybe wants to be an editor someday?
I don't recommend being an editor unless you're very young. I have people that come to me in their 30s and they're like, I want to be an editor. I'm like, you're too old. Just don't. You're too old now. Don't do it. It's very physically like, taxing and hard on your body. Am I like ruining this live stream? It is though. It's tough. Don't do it. But if you really want to do it, I don't know. I think the kids are using Resolve now. Like I'm not.
Most people.
Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about software. Like I think Premiere and Resolve are definitely the first step to get into things. And yeah, it's really different than even when I was coming up just like 15 or 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm old.
Did you tell me how you got started?
I was a receptionist.
For who?
At a company called Final Cut, but not the software. It was a post house in New York that did commercials, and that's how I got into commercial post.
Nice.
And so I worked into the machine room, and this was still when everything was standard def, and I would run digibeta tapes up to air for like a Crest commercial or something. So, and it was very stressful because you couldn't mess anything up, and now it's really different. So. Yeah, my advice is to get Resolve, I guess, if you want to be an editor.
Good to know. And honestly, it's supposedly really useful for people that can just transfer stuff back and forth. But
yeah, I don't know how to use it. I'm that person. I'm like, but.
Well, I know that you got to go to bed. Thanks for answering at least some of the fun questions.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Everybody, go check out George's stuff. You got Underplayed, Maddu, Dirty Pop, and then something with the colon in the title.
We'll put some links up.
Yeah.
Thanks. That was like the best conversation we've had in a long time.
You should just end it now.
It's all going to go downhill. Absolutely.
Drop.
Thank you, Georgia.
Bye.
So
that was fun.
Yeah. I'm out on a porch with the night skies behind me and the crashing of the waves on the beach. I'm going to turn my camera off so I can adjust my position.
All right. Since Will's not going to have, I don't think so, any pickups in person, I'm going to share a couple. I picked up a couple things in some recent sales, and then one that finally came in after literally a couple of years. I had some people in the Discord razzing me because I didn't get Godzilla -1, so I finally picked up the 4K copy of this, just came in. And I matched the energy of Godzilla -1 with the 4K of Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Can't Will. Can't wait to see that one. This one is from Concept Media. Been following them, covering them for a couple years. Really stoked to finally get this one in and check it out. It is a Kickstarter title, and it was Stranded. This was just a low-budget horror. I can't remember. I don't think this is the one that got... Nope, it's not the one, so I will not say it. But check this out. I think you can still pick up a couple copies of this. I don't think it was a Kickstarter exclusive. Check that out soon. Will, what's been going on with you?
Oh gosh, it's been eventful. Well, I suppose the biggest thing was last week. I welcomed Sam Deegan in person down in North Carolina, and we did a couple screenings. We did Zero Grad, thanks to our friends at Deaf Crocodile. We showed Zero Grad at the Cary Theater in lovely downtown Cary, North Carolina. Had a pretty good turnout. Met some folks from the chat and from Sam's Patreon, Dick and John. John Daly was able to be there with his lovely wife, Robin. Bud Wilkins, a bunch of people came
showed up. Nice.
Yeah, and then that was on Wednesday last week, and then Sam and I went to Greensboro to the International Human Rights Film Festival at UNC Greensboro to show. Sam picked out Come and See, the 1985 Soviet anti-war film.
Feel-good movie of the year, yeah.
Oh my God! You know that old was it Sony? It's that old commercial where it's a guy sitting in a chair and the speakers have like blown everything back.
Oh, yeah.
It was like when we turned the lights up after the movie, that's what like 175 people looked like. Just absolutely like, ugh. But it was cool. It was cool kind of watching Sam interact with students and got to meet some of the faculty, some history faculty, some Russian specialists, who were really into what we were doing. And it was the first time meeting Sam in person. She was an absolute delight. I can't say enough good stuff about her. She was so kind and generous, and given the amount of pollen that we have in North Carolina at this time, the fact that she could even be polite to people was pretty impressive because she was suffering.
Yeah.
But we had a good time.
What you told me about mowing the grass was terrifying sounding.
Yeah, dude, the pollen here is so bad that I rinsed off the car was green. It's a blue car, but the car was green with pollen, right? I wash it off, and 30 minutes later, it's green again. It's like gamma radiation.
Gamma radiation.
But it was great. I mean, I feel so fortunate to have worked. I mean, like, last November, I was like, hey, I wonder if I could scrape together some grant money and bring Sam Deegan down here.
Yeah.
And then, 6 or 7 months later, bam, did it. Or 5 months, however long.
It moved about pretty quickly.
Yeah. So real happy. I'm definitely grateful that we did that. And it looks like that's going to lead to some more in-person screenings at the Cary Theater, Deaf Crocodile Films, and maybe some others too. But that's going to be starting soon. I'll definitely keep the Discord and more informed.
And we'll be posting on the SFP socials.
Yeah.
Make sure you're following us everywhere on that.
Absolutely. Smash that subscribe button.
Speaking of smashing things, before we get into like recent watches and everything, we're going to talk about probably the biggest news of the day, just to kind of get it out of the way, because I don't want to end on a downer tonight. So let's bring this up real quick. This is let's make this a little smaller here.
Tarif.
Today, there was a big post that I made that fucking exploded on Facebook, and I just want to say right now, discussing how politics affects the home video industry is not inherently political. It is not about saying a party or an administration is bad, but we are going to discuss how the effects of this change will have an overall effect on our hobby and industry at large.
That's right.
So,
We're not going to talk about politics or the way politics might affect actual human beings. What we're talking about specifically is the price of Blu-rays.
Anyways, no, you're going to be able to sense how we feel about this, obviously, but there's a lot of things that need to be said here and some things that need to be cleared up. A lot of people think that I posted this just to get a rise out of people, but in all reality, I try to share the amount of information that I can that will have an effect on any of this. So everything from replacement discs to announcements to good deals to literally a politically charged change to the way things are taxed and how that will affect a huge portion of buyers. So today, tariffs were enacted literally in a sweeping way across the world by the United States government that affected almost every single country out there, except for a couple that are kind of suspicious. And what we are...
Dude, Cambodia got messed up. Did you see that?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. What we are seeing is that multiple boutiques, including just a moment ago in the chat, Deaf Crocodile signaling that manufacturing costs have already guaranteed to have gone up by or at most 20% from what we're seeing. That could change in the future. Some others could report some higher numbers, but most are going to be 10 to 20% overall. But the big thing, that's manufacturing costs. That's not inherently saying that the price of their goods are going to go up by 20%, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. Orbit DVD had a live video today, and this is the main reason that something about this needed to be posted. This is news for a lot of people that shop through Orbit DVD, which is myself, Will, and many other people in this chat, guaranteed, is going to find some interest in this because many of us are people that import from stores like Brother Belial. Hey, what's going on, Brother Belial? He is somebody that imports a lot for us, and we are big fans of their releases that they get from overseas. Now, Orbit DVD shared some of their plans, and it is as follows. There will be a 10% tariff fee for UK and Australian items. The UK and Australian pre-orders that exist, Orbit will pay for half of the tariff fee, and the customer will pay for the other half. And then after those release dates, the customer will pay for everything. So if you want the most cost-effective way to pre-order from Orbit or to get a release from the UK or Australia from Orbit, that will be to pre-order them. Now, from other countries, customer will pay all of the tariff fee. So that means if you're getting something from Germany, that means if you're getting something from the Asian market or somewhere else that they're carrying for, Italy is another one that they've carried some for, everything will be paid by the customer. Now, currently, there are in-stock or imported items, and obviously they didn't have to pay a tariff on those, so those are unaffected. And if you have current pre-orders, those are unaffected. But all of the current pre-orders were shut down so they could put this policy in place, and those will reopen in the next couple of days. So all of that leading me to say, right now, if you want to lock something in at the absolute most cost-effective price for you in the U.S., you may want to go direct to a boutique label and buy from them right now. Lock in the price before some of these places can get the tariff model set up and see if you can get that fixed for yourself. It is a rough situation.
So basically you're saying if someone hypothetically were to have a cart put together at the indicator sale, they should go ahead and hit purchase.
Specifically to you, Mr. Will Dodson, yes, you should probably purchase that indicator cart sooner than later.
Dang.
The other part of this that I really wanted to highlight is that none of these companies that are doing this are choosing to do this. Prices will inevitably be increasing across the board. Most of these boutique labels, the physical media industry, most of these people are not operating at a place where a 20% margin is even theoretically capable of being eaten by the owner of the company. They're not profiting enough money to have that outweigh the costs of their business. I think Orbit, as a retailer, is being extremely fair by choosing to eat some of it for you. That is a big move for them, to be quite honest. But the other thing, if you are wanting to buy from a UK company or an Australian company, this is a really good time to support some of these smaller labels, because I definitely see a world where some of these smaller labels simply do not last through this situation if it goes on longer than a couple of months. But the reality is, even if it's canceled tomorrow, this will still have large sweeping effects on pricing and physical media for forever, because this is essentially a permanent tax increase for a lot of situations. Any thoughts there, Will?
Hell yeah. Reasonable people can have different perspective on the short-term and long-term effects of these new policies. And the purpose of this show is to discuss the hobby and the industry and the, economics of boutique Blu-ray production and distribution. So what we're seeing in the little microcosm of our interests, our shared interests, whatever our politics might be, is, something that's going to make things difficult, as Ryan was saying, for especially the smaller boutique labels. And given that inflation is still an issue for most of us, you have to think intentionally about the things you want to buy. How was that? Was that good?
That was good. I'm just laughing because Sibner says Third Window Films is now 9 Window Films.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good. Also, I just hit pay now on my indicator cart.
That's pretty great.
So that kind of hurt.
Joel says all shops and labels need to make sure to specify the additional charge is directly from the tariff. Yes, they absolutely should, and indicate that is the only reason that it exists. There's so much happening right now. It is going to be a time of transition, obviously. Mike's here. What's going on, Mike? Order from Umbrella today, not even thinking about tariffs, and there wasn't any change in prices. Even went back and looked at my order today. No additional pricing. Sort of on topic, but also off topic. A lot of collector's editions from Umbrella randomly showed up in stock again. So if you were after one of those, they've been going for some very high prices. You can get them at retail right now. Check it out. But also, the Hanukkah box set that we talked about just a couple weeks ago disappeared from the Umbrella site, and a rep from Umbrella said they are working on a couple licensing things. So my fingers are crossed that they're working to get the last 2 films, and it could be a full filmography box set. That would be great.
I already see some arguing back and forth in the chat, and that that's healthy as long as everyone's respectful of each other. I think arguments about tariffs over the last couple hundred years tend to be about whether to use tariffs as a scalpel or as a sledgehammer. And right now, the sledgehammer approach is the one that we're taking. And, again, we can make projections about short-term and long-term impacts. But in the short term, certainly, we need to look out for one another and our favorite boutiques. Death Crocodile will start shipping in actual crocodile body orifices that are floated downstream.
We did have a question from Death Rattle. Will this just affect boutique labels and not the big ones? No, this is going to affect everybody. Because not only our studios releasing discs as well. They're subject to the same sort of things, not only if they are manufacturing outside of the States, which most of the big ones are, but on top of that, even if they were manufacturing in the U.S., those materials come from outside the U.S. So the fees are still assessed, just at a different step in the process. So, and by the way, we are having a very privileged conversation about a hobby that we don't have to partake in. This is not one of the required aspects of our lives. However, the crazy part of this is that this will also affect the things that are required for our lives. This is something that is going to have large sweeping impacts on every aspect of day-to-day life. And this is going to be one of the first things to go for a lot of people, because they have to pay rent, they have to pay for food, they have to pay for transportation to get to work to be able to pay rent. And therefore, if there's nothing left, discs go bye-bye. And that, I mean, logically, that has to make sense for a lot of people.
Terrific. Oh wait, was that a racist sign that I just did?
It sadly was.
I was okay. No, that was like I was just like saying okay, not the. Wasn't that okay? What are you allowed to do?
Not much. Yeah. So something that, you know, we all love is going to be affected, but also a lot of things that we don't love or have to talk about are going to be affected as well. So this is really just a very specific side conversation in a time when a lot of people are struggling with lots of other aspects of their lives. So I'm not trying to minimize that or maximize home video, but really this show is all about home video. We have to talk about how it will affect that. But Will and I are human. All of you guys in the chat, I think, are human. And based on that, we all have requirements. Will and I have children and a wife each that we struggle to care for.
A wife each,
not the same wife.
One that we share.
Across state lines. Why did I say across straight lines? That made it sound weirder.
You get the odd months.
But I mean, really, there's so much about this thing that is going to have sweeping effects for a long time. Josh says, just confirmed everything I need to know about you too. Perfect timing.
So everybody's, by the way, everybody's telling me that I can do thumbs up, but I'm pretty sure in some Middle Eastern companies that means like up your ass.
I think
Like
I think if it's going down, or does that sign
you don't
like
go down? How would you do that? What kind of serial killer shit is that?
anyways?
Okay. Hello, fellow humans.
Obviously, this needed to be addressed tonight. I don't want to sour the rest of the night, so if anybody wants to have further conversations about this, please don't go to the comment section of my social media because it's a dumpster fire. But if you do want to discuss my thoughts in a civil way, I am one of the most approachable people doing this, so please send me an email. My email is in the description below. Happy to discuss, happy to share my own experiences with the people from the industry that I've already spoken to today. What are we doing? Still more gestures?
Trying to figure out what point's okay. Listen, I gotta say, I've been called out by name, admonished for political speech. And I just want to say to anyone who I might have offended by pointing out objective facts, I apologize. But I'll also quote a great philosopher and say, I have a microphone, so you will listen to every damn word I have to say. Adam Sandler.
Yes. Good
wedding
stuff.
Singer.
All right. Enough about government and tariffs and all that bullcrap. Will, anything you watched recently you want to talk about?
Well, Zero Grad and Come and See. Those were great. What else? Had a great conversation with Hunter on the Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys podcast. We talked about John Wayne's Republic picture. Republic? Yeah. Monogram? Republic? Pictures of the B Westerns he made, including several of the Three Musketeers films that he made. And those were a lot of fun. Watched, a ton of those. Republic, I was right. First time. Yeah, I don't know. When was the last time we talked? Beginning of March?
Yeah, beginning of March was the last time you talked with everybody out there.
I feel like I've watched a lot of stuff. I completed the DC universe by seeing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Holy shit, man. That's the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life.
When you told me that you were going to have to bring that up, I laughed so hard.
What was that, dude?
I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure.
Wow. So that was something. I'm up to date on the third season of Yellow Jackets. It's better than the second season. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, but I'm committed at this point. We'll say that. That's it. It's a long show tonight. You don't care what I watched.
It is a long show tonight, but I'm going to cover quite a few things because this week has been Panic Fest here in Kansas City. Attended live for a couple nights. Saw 4 features in the theater over the last week and met a couple other people that I never got to meet. Met Garrett from Born to Be Rad. Met the whole Rad Pack, actually. That was really nice. I was able to shake the hands with a couple people that were directing. It was cool to see that. But some big ones that people are going to want to hear about. The first night, I saw a double feature of It Feeds, which, if I remember right, I believe is coming to Shudder later this year. And this was very stereotypical, tropey-filled story about a woman that can sense when somebody has a demon attached to them and can put her hand up on somebody else's forehead and go in and try to help this person find the demon and get it out. And it was decent, but very we've seen this probably 55 times before. The next thing that was on that night was much more unique. It was called Don't Let the Cat Out. Unfortunately, it was pretty awful. This movie for me was a fun premise, but then just nonsensical through and through. Essentially, it's about a rich couple that hire a college student who looks like he's 29, of course, to go watch their house for a night. And they tell him that the rules and the list of things to know are on the fridge, and they leave, and he goes and sees this list, and it is all things about a cat that he's not seen, and some stuff starts to happen around the house, and he goes, and suddenly he sees this cat, which is actually a human in a cat outfit, and it turns out they want to turn this guy that's watching the house into a cat. The whole movie is filled with cats. Craig, you might like it. It was really bad.
Would that make him a purry?
Yes.
Would he be a purry?
It would be. Did not like that movie. But the next night that I went was a pretty incredible double feature. The big one, Clown in a Cornfield. Got to see the premiere of that one. Followed by The Ugly Stepsister. Clown in a Cornfield, of course, is the big YA novel that came out a couple years ago. People have been waiting on this for years. It is a pretty stereotypical slasher set in a very small town in Missouri, where I am. And unfortunately, it's pretty good. I know a lot of people wanted to shit on it just because of the whole YA feature. They actually go there with this movie. A lot of really heavy-handed kills that show a lot of blood. It's pretty good. Was quite happy with that part. Unfortunately, though, there is some actual heavy-handedness in the film. They go really hard on Gen X is bad and Gen Z is stupid. And that's 90% of the plot lines of this movie. And I understand that you were going to say that, but it definitely feels like a very conceited millennial made this movie and just wanted to share bad experiences.
Also sounds accurate.
That being said, it was an enjoyable watch, and I believe that one will also be on Shudder. I think Shudder helped produce it. It was quite good. But The winner of the week for me, which I expected to really hate, was The Ugly Stepsister. This is literally a body horror version of Cinderella, told from the viewpoint of one of the stepsisters who is forcing herself to become beautiful to try to win over the prince. And to just share one aspect of how this really goes there, because this is a true body horror movie. She starts to manipulate her body to try to be beautiful for the prince. And one of the opening-ish scenes, like less than 20 minutes into it, they literally go to give her plastic surgery. And this is set in like the Victorian area by chiseling part of her nose in to reset it. And they show it. And there's so much more than that happens in this. There's a couple things that had the entire theater cringing with glee. It was quite good. A little long, but very enjoyable, entertaining through and through. Beautiful sets. It seemed like they had a huge, huge budget, but they didn't. It was incredibly well done. Very happy with it. I hope people check it out because it should do very, very well. It is a good film.
Oh, you know what? I got 2 more I'll throw in.
Do it.
That does sound interesting. I saw a Ronald Neame movie, Escape from Zahrain. One of those, 60s, like, spy war movie things. Yul Brynner as a Middle East, as an Arab. But Jack Warden is so good in it. Sal Minio's in it. And it's just like an escape. I mean, literally, it's an escape from Zahrain. It's a chase movie, trying to get to the border. And Jack Warden plays this corrupt U.S. soldier who's been like embezzling and smuggling and stuff. So he's trying to escape, and he's helping Yul Brynner, who's like a freedom fighter, working against the colonialists. So it was fun. Also, buddy John Daly and I went to see The Monkey in the theater. It was the first movie I'd seen in the theater since I went with John to see Anora. I'll tell you about The Monkey. There were like 6 people in the theater, which makes sense. It was like a Sunday afternoon and it had already been out for a month. And at no point did any of the other 5 people laugh. But I laughed all the way through. Thought it was very funny. Not great, but funny. Enjoyed it.
I'm glad because it seems to be pretty divisive. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it.
I mean, it doesn't really hold together for me. I don't think I'm going to get a copy or anything, but I definitely laughed at every kill and every like awkward moment. So
there was a couple really good kills in that movie.
Some great kills.
Yeah. I watched a bunch more this week. If you want to hear more about those, talk about it in the Discord soon, if need be. Covered a lot of short films this week, which was a lot of fun. Watched those with my mom and my wife at home for the most part, virtually. But the last one I wanted to shout out is The Chainsaws Are Singing. Everybody needs to look this up. It was about a 2-hour Estonian film. And it is basically a hodgepodge of like, Monty Python and the Holy Grail and a musical, well, kind of like Cannibal the Musical actually, and a splatterfest. It was a lot of fun. There was some really, really funny kills. The jokes are deadpan. It was perfect black comedy. Very, very happy with this film. We threw it on a whim, expecting it to look bad because on the virtual festival, the icon they used was somebody bent over on all fours with a chainsaw getting rammed into them from behind. And the movie is so much better than that. It is great.
Yikes.
And Craig says he's working on Estonian films right this moment.
How about that? Yeah. Eventful month.
Any, I know you don't have them with you. Any recent pickups you want to highlight for everybody that you're excited about?
Yeah, well, I got my Lydia lunch thing in from Saturn's Core. Really excited about that. I did the Kino sale. I did all kinds of stuff, man. I picked up, gosh, I don't even remember what's come in recently. You go first. What are your pickups?
I already covered them when you were moving your camera, unfortunately.
Oh, you were talking about pickups?
Yeah, just a few. Remember I showed Austin Powers and you scoffed at it?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, baby. I got the Oscar Michaud collection.
Oh, I need to pick that up. Nice.
Pretty excited about that. I did something I never thought I'd do, but I got it for super cheap. I got the Bob Hope and Bing Crosby set.
Oh, the On the Road set. Nice.
Picked up, let's see, Crippled Masters from Film Masters. Full Body Massage, the Nick Gregg film, which I was pretty pleased about. I got Fredel and Ray's new book, Hellbent for Hollywood, A Director's Journey. Super duper happy about that. Michael Curtiz's The Walking Dead.
Nice.
I started doing something. This is a pickup and a recent watch. This is going to be something. So, I got into it with somebody about Tarantino. And we're going back and forth and back and forth. And I say the same thing I always say. I'm not a fan of his movies. I appreciate that his success has led to more fandom, for more attention for a lot of the cult movies that we all love. And the person convinced me, I was like, no, dude, you really need to do a watch through. And I was like, well, I haven't seen any of them in like 20 years. I still haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the last one I saw in the theater was Inglourious Bastards. So he convinced me, and I saw that a bunch of the new 4Ks of Tarantino were like super low price. Can't imagine why. So I watched Reservoir Dogs, the 4K of Reservoir. I picked it up. I'll be selling it soon, but I watched Reservoir Dogs again, and I actually liked it less than the last time I saw it. There are some really good shots. It's a lot stagier than I remember.
It is. Like, it could have been a stage play.
I mean, yeah, but it's stagier than I remember. Like, the line deliveries are not as smooth as I remember.
Yep.
I mean, it's his first movie. I wouldn't, like, ding him on that necessarily. The soundtrack is impeccable. I won't fault that at all. That Harry Nilsson song, the Lime and the Coconut song at for the end credits is the mic drop of the ages. So I'll give him that. Yeah, Craig pointed out Monty Hellman was supposed to direct Reservoir Dogs and ended up being one of the producers. So one down. Pulp Fiction will be next, I guess. Jesus Christ. But I'm doing it.
That'll be a fun one. I guess we should probably get into our announcements because we have literally 100 things to cover tonight.
Most of them aren't that important.
No, but
no,
I got to admit,
it's amazing. I can't believe what's been announced this week. Are you kidding me?
I got to admit, I think this is our most eclectic week ever. Yeah, maybe
might be.
The weird mix of stuff that we're about to discuss is kind of incredible, which is, again, not to bring up the tariffs again, but why some of these smaller companies really need to be focused on right now, because these eclectic releases are the ones that are going to be lost first. The ones that are big, popular titles, those are going to be the ones that companies can survive on and get paid for. And so something that you would say, oh man, this has never been released ever on disc, that's going to be way less likely to get a release if a company is on the verge of failing, literally. So here we go. First up, Imprint Asia. They are releasing all three of these on May 28th out of Australia. This is coming as part of the Imprint Asia line. And the first one is The Lost Bladesman from 2011. Donnie Yen stars in this one, and it is going to have a new audio commentary by Mike Leader and George Clark. There's going to be some archival making of features. And then we got some featurettes, trailers, and the like. Glad this is getting a good release here. Next up is Portrait in Crystal, which is a Shaw Brothers film from 1983. This is one that looks really dang good. New audio commentary on this one by the man, the myth, the legend, Justin DeClue, who runs Golden Ninja Video. Have heard him on his podcast or seen him on a bunch of special features everywhere because Justin is a very busy man. Critic James Mudge also speaks on this one as well. But looks like a solid release of this film.
Mudge man.
Wanting to see this one for sure.
I don't know who that is.
You just gave him a nickname. All right. The biggest Imprint Asia title this week that so many people got very excited for is their release of Shaw Shock, Shaw Brothers Horror Volume 1. This is going to include The Oily Maniac, Seeding of a Ghost, and then for the first time on Blu-ray anywhere in the world, Sex Beyond the Grave, which, what does that mean?
When I saw that title, it reminded me of that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry is renewing his vows.
Right.
And he's got a problem with the, like, after death. Like, she wants him to say, like, not just unto death, but forever. He's like, no, it's just until death. It's not after death. Like, after death, I'm free to fuck around, you know?
Oh, man. So, yeah, this looks like a pretty killer release. We've got new interview with Jack Long on this one, the actors. Critic Ricky Baker speaks on The Oily Maniac. There's an interview with Callum Waddell. There is James Mudge speaks on Seeding of a Ghost, as Will calls him the Mudge Man. We've got Seeding of a Trend, The Birth of Hong Kong, Splatter Cinema, an interview with filmmaker Callum Waddell on that one as well.
Now, I do know Callum. Callum's amazing.
Sex Beyond the Grave has a new audio commentary by Dylan Chung, and then Victor Fan speaks on the title as well. Oh, wow. Brendan said first imprint order ever because of this. Very nice.
Well, just grip it with both hands because it's slippery.
At least one of them. So, yeah, that is the Imprint Asia releases coming in May. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice looking set.
Then we got details from Arrow on The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This is coming on 4K and Blu-ray in these deluxe box releases coming on June 23rd in the UK only. And there is, again, all kinds of stuff here. New 4K restoration of the 162-minute international cut using the original 2perf Technoscope negatives. We've got Dolby Vision and HDR10 on this one as well. Newly restored original lossless English mono audio. Theatrical trailers. The commentary by Tim Lucas is on here. And then 3 other discs. 2 of these, one of them will have the extended cut in 4K as well, and then a whole bunch of extras. Disc 3 is a Blu-ray of just extras, and they've got tons of new interviews on here, so much that I couldn't even print it all. And then the big thing, disc number 4 is Sad Hill Unearthed. This is a limited edition exclusive, so if you get the standard after, it will not have this disc. This is the Blu-ray presentation of Sad Hill Unearthed, a 2017 documentary by Guillermo de Oliveira following fans' efforts to restore the graveyard set of this. Yes,
wow.
ma'am.
That just seems like a lot for...
It is a lot.
Like,
The Good,
they
the Bad,
doing
the
like
Ugly.
a cosplay thing, like a recreation.
Oh, and made a documentary about it too. Yes,
it's like those Civil War and reenactors, but it's the cinematic version. Were they doing that?
it sounds like it. I've never seen it. Key-Ray says it's great.
Wow, I love The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So,
Sex Beyond the Graveyard set.
oh yeah, let's recreate that one.
Craig says not 100% sure, but I think you could contribute to that restoration effort and get your name on one of the graves. That's
hilarious. I'd of course want to. I'd want to be. You know what would suck is if you supported the restoration, but your name was Frank Carson. So no one would know that you participated.
Why are there two?
Put Junior or something.
Let's go to the next one. Roadhouse getting a 4K and Blu-ray release in the UK from Arrow as well. This is what the packaging looks like for the 4K and the Blu-ray.
Huh.
Now, the crazy thing,
I thought it'd be bigger.
The crazy thing here is they didn't do a whole lot of anything to differentiate this from the Vinegar Syndrome release. There's not a lot here to make somebody purchase it if they were holding out. I don't know if you got the Vinegar Syndrome one, if there's any reason to even consider this. If it's like your favorite movie ever and you pick up every copy, who knows? But yeah, I'm not seeing any reason because it doesn't even say they touched the restoration, which I got to be honest, the Vinegar Syndrome version of Roadhouse does not look great. The 4K on that is really like overpoweringly red. It is quite blinding. So
damn it. Why didn't somebody tell me that before I sold my Shout Blu-ray of it?
Yeah, it's not a great looking 4K.
Do you know what's funny? I was going to make a joke about like somebody liking Roadhouse so much that they had a shelf with all the different editions, but then I realized I myself have had at least 4 different editions
right
of Roadhouse, and I don't even like it that much. I just feel like I need to have it.
Oh, it's a sickness. Going to the next one. The Taking of Pelham 123 is also getting a 4K and a Blu-ray release in the UK from Arrow. This is coming on June 9th. And on this one, there are some new featurettes, new interviews, lots of new stuff. If this is one of your favorite movies, this seems like a better release than the Kino one for sure.
Oh, I was going to ask, is this a new 4K restoration?
It is not a new 4K restoration, but just being authored by Arrow, it will look better.
Damn it.
And there are new extras for sure.
Why do you do this to me?
Including one by Barry Forshaw, which is bound to be pretty damn good. I also like Brian Reisman is doing a then and now featurette on the filming locations, which I think would probably be pretty great. He also brought in Jody Shapiro, who's the curator of the New York Transit Museum. Your face.
Well, I'm just imagining, I was remembering the scene of like Walter Matthau taking like the Japanese tourists on the tour. And I hope that Ms. Shapiro is like that. Like, you know, I'm just imagining like some old lady smoking a cigarette. Like, oh, where's the tunnel?
Craig, fully agree with you. Craig says it's really starting to seem like just use Kino 4K discs as pre-sale announcements for a better version that will be coming. I think that's true for many titles, but really not all of them, which is that's where it gets a little scary.
I will say one of the things I picked up in the Kino sale was the 4K of Hatari.
That one I don't really see getting another release by anybody else.
Yeah, well, it looks terrific. That was a period of John Wayne's career that I would compare to Adam Sandler, where like he had a bunch of movies where it was just like him and a bunch of his buddies going to some exotic location and making a movie that sort of had a plot, but really it was just an excuse to go hang out.
Yes.
But I find them more entertaining than the Sandler movies.
I love this this segment from Sibner and Paul, who both say use the imprint announcements as a coming soon on 4K from Kino announcements, which has been quite true. Next up from Arrow on June 16th, over in the UK only, they finally got the rights to Witness, which they did in the US a little over a year ago here, the Harrison Ford movie. So you can get this on 4K or Blu-ray there. It's the exact same package. If you got it from the US, you literally have this already. And I saw a lot of people in the comments not understanding that Arrow was the last one to release this. It's the exact same release. It's not like they're re-releasing something else that somebody else did. They did it. They just didn't have the rights, and now they can sell it in the UK as well. That's not a bad thing, especially in a world where we're talking about tariffs. Getting the rights to something in another company can change the price, not another company, in another country can change the price for these for a lot of people. But this is a great movie. If you don't have it, check it out.
Peter Weir.
Peter Weir. Then the announcement that made a lot of people happy this week. Dark City from 1998 getting a 4K and Blu-ray release on June 23rd in the UK, June 24th in North America. Here is the art for the 4K and Blu-ray. This has a brand new 4K restoration from the OCNs approved by the DP. There is a 60-page perfect bound book on this one. You've got 3 postcard-sized reproduction art cards, a double-sided poster, a postcard, a business card, 2 new commentaries, one by the director, Alex Proyas, one by Craig Anderson and Bruce Isaacs, Herschel Isaacs, all the co-hosts of the Film versus Film podcast. Then 3 different archive commentaries. So this disc has 5 commentaries on it. 5 commentaries on Dark City, which is crazy. There is a brand new hour-long documentary on here called Return to Dark City, featuring a bunch of individuals involved with the film. New visual essay by Alexander West, new visual essay by Josh Nelson. The second disc has the theatrical cut on it as well. That one also has an archival commentary. Extras on both discs. Lots and lots of stuff coming on this release from Arrow. This is a overly stuffed release of a film. That's crazy to have literally 6 different commentaries packed into this release.
I remember being so excited to see this when it came out in the theater and being so disappointed in it. So I am very interested in seeing the director's cut, which I have not seen before. The look of this film is based on Fritz Lang's 1934 film Lilium, which is one of the most bizarre movies ever. And even more bizarre, Lilium was later remade into Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel. So there's your triple feature. Lilium, Carousel, Dark City. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Craig is saying, I really dug the cover art. Do they credit the artist? Yes, they do. It is Doug John Miller. Doug John Miller. Dark City does not disappoint, says Paul. Even the archive extras are super informative. Love Dark City, says Sasha. Well, it didn't disappoint me.
Wait. Pull Sasha's profile pic back up. Yeah, of course you do. That's a compliment, by the way.
Alex Proyas, yeah.
Right. It's like I like Dark City, no shit.
The director's cut is arguably not as good, says
no,
the
really?
Oh,
wow. Okay, well, I'll compare them. I've got nothing but
Sibner says the director's cut omits the voiceover. Huh. So that could be a big change. All right.
We'll see. My sister, I wish she was still here because she was at a party, one of them industry parties. Not so. Sasha, is that your real picture? Because I love the look.
It is. It is.
Oh my god, I love it. Beautiful, absolutely hot. But my sister was at one of those industry parties, that they go to with the finger sandwiches and the mounds of cocaine. And she's talking to this guy and thinking he looks really familiar. And they just talk for a while, have some conversation, and then he leaves, and she's like, "Oh, that was Rufus Sewell." So
specific.
Yeah.
All right. Next, coming on June 9th in the UK and June 10th in North America, we are getting a Swordfish 4K from Arrow Video. The film with one scene that lots of people fast forwarded to and then paused. This is going to have a commentary by Dominic Senna, new interview with the composer Paul Oakenfold, new interview with the production designer Jeff Mann, promotional behind the scenes, promotional featurettes, reversible sleeve, double-sided fold-out poster. That is Swordfish.
I didn't realize Paul Oakenfold did the soundtrack. Man, this was that period of time where everybody thought that electronic music was going to be the new thing. like the new grunge was going to be.
Oh, it was everywhere.
Music, and Paul Oakenfold was going to be like the new Kurt Cobain or something.
Adam says, Swordfish, forgettable other than one scene. Yes. Hallie and her berries.
I like how hot the convo is getting.
Last from Arrow for the month, June 23rd in the UK, June 24th in North America, Blu-ray of The Invisible Swordsman from 1970. This one is going to have a new commentary from Jonathan Clements, new interview with Kim Newman on the history of invisibility in cinema, which that's got to be an interesting.
Is it audio only?
No, it's probably video.
Well, I would have made it audio only.
Yeah, that's the good joke. New interview with Jasper Sharp on this. Illustrated Collector's Booklet with new writing on the film by Zach Davison. Looks like a fun release. Jack says, Leaf Jonker just announced that Arrow will not be putting out Darkness. I'm glad that I can say that publicly. Yes, I've known that for a little bit. Arrow has supposedly had the Darkness since like 2018, 2019. And they are not going to be doing it anymore. And now the race is on to see who is going to do it.
Darkness.
Deaf Crocodile.
What?
Deaf Crocodile, who we have in the chat. These are available to pre-order and shipping at the end of this month in April. This first title is also known as Dutch Wife in the Desert, but more provocatively titled Inflatable Sex Doll of the Wastelands from 1967. The art house pink film has a new commentary on this by Arna Venema and Mike Leader. New video interview with Alexander Zalton on the pink film subgenre in Japanese cinema. New visual essay by yours truly and Dr. Will Dodson on the screen. And, of course, Fidelity in Motion does the authoring. And then we got a slipcase with new art by the one and only Tony Stella that looks freaking incredible. We've got standard art that is double-sided by Beth Morris. 60-page book in this one. New essay by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. New essay by Chris D. New essay by Walt Chaw. This is immense. This is going to be an incredible release. Will, tell everybody about our visual essay and how you feel about the film.
So, when recommending pink films to people, it's always kind of a difficult proposition because, you know that the genre means that there's going to be a certain amount of sexual violence in the film. I will say that I think the sexual violence in this film is not as intense or exploitive as some pink films, but that doesn't mean that it's easy to watch. At the same time, this movie is absolutely gorgeous. The filmmaker had collaborated with Seijun Suzuki on Branded to Kill, and the look of this film is really of that vein. Yeah, as Craig says, it's not really a pink film, and I'd say that's accurate. Like if it's certainly not like Angel Guts or anything like that. It's really before the pink genre had been kind of codified as a genre. So you can think of this more as like a hard-boiled noir with pink elements. It's a gorgeous movie. I couldn't believe it. When we worked on the essay, watched it over and over and just couldn't believe some of the shots. It's one of the coolest looking movies we've worked on.
This is one of those visual essays where we had a list of shots that we wanted to include, and eventually I just had to not include some of them because it would eventually just be the entire film because it looks so good. Chris, who has been on the show and is going to be on the show soon here in a few weeks, he says that's going to be his first Deaf Crocodile purchase. That is an incredible first choice.
Like I'd say, let me interject since Bearded Film Guy just made that comment. I'm not on social media a whole lot, but I do follow Bearded Film Guy, and like every time one of his pieces comes across, I stop and I watch this like lovingly shot and edited a sequence of a film just being held up to the camera and displayed, and I always find those really well done. I like the channel the page. What do you call an Instagram feed?
Profile. And he had a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. It's great stuff. It definitely, I feel like a 50s housewife, watching those commercials where somebody's just like fetishizing a refrigerator, but in a good, am I making sense?
Yeah.
Like, I just love it. It's like, I love watching those things. It always makes me want to go out and order you really should get some kickbacks, guy. Always want to go out and order whatever you're holding up.
So that is Inflatable Sex All the Wastelands. You can pick that up direct on the Deaf Crocodile site, on Diabolic DVD, or a whole bunch of other places. Great movie. Very art house. It's great. We recommend it. And then the next one from Deaf Crocodile for this month is Bill Plimpton's Mutant Aliens.
Yeah.
This is from 2001. And of course, Plimpton is back with one of his weirdo animated films that are incredible. This one, you got two classic Plimpton shorts, including Hot Dog from 2008 and The Cow Who Wanted to Be a Hamburger from 2010. New video interview with Plimpton about the making of. New commentary by Adam Rakoff and James Hancock and John Holderide. We've got some extras on the deluxe edition. We got a 60-page illustrated book with Walt Chaw, an intro by Weird Al Yankovic, essay by screenwriter, playwright, and film journalist Stephen Peros, and this one is available now as well. Check this one out. Love me some Plimpton.
Oh my God, can't wait to see it.
All right, that is Deaf Crocodile. Cauldron was next up on the slate. They announced that you can pre-order now. It is shipping at the end of June, which, by the way, update on the last pre-orders from Cauldron. Mad Foxes and the other title that they announced at the same time are both shipping now. So those should be coming to people in the order that was received. Check it out. Rico the Mean Machine from 1973 is the first Cauldron title listed here. Well, actually, I guess the only Cauldron, because the next one's not Cauldron. This one is going to include a 4K scan of the negative. It's going to have the English subtitles, English 2.0 mono, and Italian mono as well. We've got some extras on here, a bunch of interviews that Eugenio Ercolani did over in Italy. Visual essay called Cauldron of Ricos by Eugenio as well. Some archival extras. Full-color booklet with liner notes by Eurocrime director and tough guy film expert Mike Malloy. And this one looks great. Have you seen this one, Will?
Oh, yeah. I'm super stoked because I'm going to get to retire my DVD.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't think I had this on my FanDuel for a restoration anytime soon. So this was a very pleasant surprise.
This is definitely one that people have been after for quite some time.
I think Adam Schofield has it correct. One of the sleaziest. Sleaziest? One of the sleaziest.
It's a fun word. And then the other title that got announced for pre-order is a Neon Eagle video title, and that is The Great Chase from 1975. This has Etsuko Shihomi in this one, who is the sister Street Fighter herself.
Yes.
And this one gets a 2K restoration, Japanese mono on this, commentary by Chris Paggiali and John Charles, interview with Tatsuya Matsudo, full-color booklet with liner notes by Nathan Stewart, slipcover with new artwork by Justin Coffey. The art on this looks pretty great. This one looks very fun.
Already ordered them both because you know who directed this? Norifumi Suzuki.
Yes.
Sex and
Yes,
Fury
yes.
himself. My favorite Suzuki.
All right.
That's right. I said it. I love Seijun Suzuki, but Norifumi Suzuki is my favorite Suzuki.
Good to know. All right, coming soon from Kino is Last Known Address from 1970. This gets a 4K restoration by Studio Canal, and I know next to nothing about this title. Then we got some Air 4444 details. These are all going to be available to pre-order tomorrow at noon Eastern in the U.S. And the first one, we talked about these a little bit last time. This first one is a loan from 2007. This is going to have a double-sided slipcover with new artwork from the legendary Thai poster artist Jinda, one booklet with an essay by Michelle Kisner. We've got 3 stickers with art by Justin Coffey, a reversible artwork Blu-ray sleeve, and then we got a new interview by Arnav Enema with co-director Banjong Pisanthankun. That's probably not how you say that. New interview by Arnav Enema with the other co-director. We've got some featurettes on here, storyboards, deleted scenes, lots to choose from on this release. If you get the title by itself, it is $36. You can get it on their Big Cartel site tomorrow at noon Eastern. Second title is $38 by itself, and this is PMOC from 2013. This is going to have a double-sided slip, a booklet with an essay by Amber T., 3 stickers, reversible sleeve. This one, you got a new interview with the director by Arnav Enema as well. Feature-length video commentary featuring the director and cast. Recognize that says feature-length video commentary. We got some interviews, promotional featurettes, deleted scenes, alternate ending, casting tapes, outtakes, and more. Then the last one, Mermaid Legend, which was also just released in the UK by Third Window. This one is $36 by itself. This one is going to have a double-sided slip with new artwork by Richard A. Morgan, booklet with an essay by Amber T., 3 stickers, a reversible art Blu-ray sleeve. Then we've got an interview with the writer, an audio commentary by Jasper Sharp and Tom Mess together, visual essay on Toshiyuki Honda by James Balmont, and a trailer. This looks damn good.
Yep.
Then the big thing, they always go all out with a big bundle. And if you get all of them, it is $130. And what this will get you are 3 exclusive slipcovers, 3 double-sided posters, and all of the movies, of course. And really, the main reason to get this is if you are a packaging super fan, I guess is the way to say it without being offensive. If you want 6 slipcovers for 3 films, this is the way to do it. But yeah, check those out tomorrow. Those go on sale at noon Eastern on the Big Cartel site. Have you been checking out any Air 4444 lately?
Yeah, I had their complete catalog for a while, and then the last couple of release cycles, I hadn't been able to get them like right away, and then when I went to purchase, they're sold out, and so I haven't been able to get like the last 6 titles.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. They have small print runs, I guess, but I can't always get them day one. So,
well, and then they usually do standards, but they take forever to get listed on the website, and the website's not always available. That's tough sometimes.
Yeah, hopefully some standards will come up of the last several. But yeah, I'm very interested in this. It's been really cool seeing, Michelle Kisner has written for a lot of them. She wrote for one of these, right?
Yes, the first one, yeah.
Right.
Alone.
I'd stepped away. So real psyched to see that. And Amber T's a good writer too, obviously Jasper Schaub and Tom Mess together. That's amazing.
They're all right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all right. Yeah. So.
Next up is the Easter Carnage sale. This is happening now in the UK and the US on the Arrow site. To get up up to 50% off UHDs, Blu-rays, and box sets. The offer ends on April 22nd, so you still have plenty of time. There is a 10% off code. I'm not sure if it works on both sites, but if you put in BRUM, BRUM, horror, HORROR, all one word, all capital, you should be able to get another 10% off after the sale prices. And there are a couple things like the Fossbender box sets in the U.S. are priced right now at $25, and to get 10% off of that, to get the whole box set for $22.50 is kind of insanity. So yeah, check out the site. They do have a lot of things that are not really great priced, especially in the U.S., but they have some things that they've had limited editions of for a long time that they just want to get rid of. So you'll find some good prices in there. Next up, Will's favorite, Kino.
I like this.
It's a good movie. Kino is releasing Road Trip from 2000 on 4K someday, eventually. This is the Breckenmeyer, Sean William Scott movie that made Tom Green the mainstream star that he was for a little bit. Road Trip, fun movie.
I think this was more like the last thing that Tom Green did as a big, mainstream star.
For a lot of people that weren't watching MTV, though, this is what got those people.
Yeah, it was funny. He's like a tour guide at Cornell or whatever. Ends up making out with everybody's moms.
Yep.
I thought this is a Todd Phillips movie.
Sure is.
Which means there's always a certain amount of misandry and misanthropy and misogyny, just like general hatred of humanity in there. I love the premise of this movie. This is one of the great premises of a teen comedy. You're trying to like keep things going with your long distance girlfriend, and you accidentally mail her a sex tape of yourself with another woman. And so you try to beat the mail across the country. What a great premise.
It's brilliant. Carrying on, April 22nd, Warner Brothers is putting out a complete Blu-ray set of the Captain Planet and the Planeteers franchise. This will include both of the series, and it is a little pricey. It's like $90 on Amazon, but it's a lot of stuff. The DVD set that they did of this, first off, 6 months ago, I think, is when they released the DVD. That feels a little shady to do that 6 months later on Blu-ray. The DVD still is like $80. So it's a lot of content, and to get it all in HD, and it looks great. They shared some stills from it. Looks like really great presentation. Not terrible price overall.
Captain Planet.
I remember when I think I was 5 years old. I went to the DARE Festival in Southern California when drug abuse resistance education was still such a huge brand that they had a festival, and the first celebrity I ever met in my life was the voice of Captain Planet at that time.
Wow, what's he like in person?
He didn't recycle. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't remember a damn thing. I just know that was the first person I ever met that was famous.
I want to meet Hart. What a lame. Oh my God.
Next up, May 12th, Screenbound over in the UK is releasing Blood for Dracula on 4K. If you wanted a more comprehensive release than the VS release, this has a bunch of physical goodies to go along with the film. I am not seeing anything new as far as extras on here, but it is going to have double-sided posters, some art cards, some pretty good-looking art on this film, and it's a good one.
Indeed.
And if you want to make it a twofer, they are also doing Flesh for Frankenstein on the same day, May 12th, over in the UK 4K. This one has all the same extras as was done in the US. This will also have a double-sided poster and 3 art cards. You can check both of them out at the same time. Good films.
Yep.
Let's... we don't have a release date yet, but the brand new Jason Statham movie.
Dang, it's not even in theater yet.
It's already been in the theater and is probably already out of the theater. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to see it.
A Working Man from just a couple weeks ago is coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD in the U.S. here soon. You can pre-order it already. And as a rousing review, Sibner says, this movie is dog shit.
I got to tell you, I thought The Beekeeper was probably my favorite film of 2024.
A lot of people loved that movie.
He murdered the exact people I want to murder. I love the idea of Jason Statham, supermodel and Olympic level diver, as a working man. I want to hear him say it. I'm a working man.
Trying to sing to Rush. Oh, man.
I'm going to see this.
Yeah. May 13th, Universal is releasing the second Soderbergh film of the year, Black Bag, on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. The 4K, at least, is going to have some special features. We got some featurettes, the company of talent designing Black Bag, and some deleted scenes. I am really, really wanting to see this movie. Unfortunately, I could not get to it in time, and I don't think it's showing anywhere around here anymore last time I checked. So I will have to check it out on home video here soon. What do you think of Soderbergh, Will? I don't think we've ever talked about that. Have you liked anything from him?
He is he's an artist. I'll say that.
Way to not answer the question. Got it.
I need to watch all those movies. I never, I watched Sex, Lies, and Videotape, and I was just like, what's the big deal? And maybe I'm stupid. That's, some people would say that's the case. It just didn't hit me right. And most of what I've seen, I just haven't been into. But if you were to say to me, hey, let's have a Soderbergh festival, I'd be like, sure, let's do it. I'll try it out.
I like it.
What was that movie he made about the plague?
The Plague.
Did he make a plague movie with Kate Winslet?
Talking about Contagion?
Was that him?
I don't think that was Soderbergh.
I think it was.
Somebody else is going to answer before I get back.
I think.
It was Soderbergh. Yeah, you are right.
So, I guess I think of Soderbergh more than you.
No, I think older Soderbergh more than.
I thought Contagion was okay. I liked watching Gwyneth Paltrow die.
What a sentence! Not her character, her.
Yeah, specifically.
All right.
Sometime I got a Gwyneth Paltrow story. I'll tell you.
Next, we got a couple announcements from Terror Vision. These are coming in May. They are a couple films that have been being worked on for a long time. This first one is The Children of Violent Rome from 1976. This is a raw and mean little movie. Just to give some details here, Terror Vision is proud to present the worldwide disc debut and the first U.S. release ever of The Children of Violent Rome. This is a new 4K scan from the OCN, which was lost for years. And this is going to include a bunch of extras, must-see for fans of Italian exploitation and anyone interested in the turbulent years of post-war Italy. And, man, there is going to be a lot of people discovering this one soon. This one, we get a booklet with writing from Pier Maria Bocci, Sam Dunkley, who is film blogger Sam on YouTube. Check him out. He's good stuff. Sam Cohen and Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. Commentary by Eugenio Ercolani and Nani Cobretti. We get a commentary by Rachel Nisbet on this. Interview with a couple of the actors, the editor. Round out a really great first release of this film. The Children of Violent Rome. It is a great little movie. You haven't seen this one yet, right?
No, I'm very interested in this. I'm getting a lot of in the chat. Everybody's telling me different Soderbergh movies to watch, and it reminded me. One that nobody's recommending. I kind of liked The Girlfriend Experience. I thought that was actually pretty good. That got made into a TV show, didn't it?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think it did.
Probably. I mean, you were already right once. Probably.
Anyway. So, Children of the Violent Road, that's a definite. Are you kidding? Beautiful.
Yes. Very, very relevant film for today as well. And then rounding that out with The Devil's Sword. This is from 1984, also coming in May. This was released previously on DVD by Mondo Macabro. Here's the DVD literally within reach. This one is TerraVision thrilled to bring this film featuring iconic performances, gnarly choreography, and crocodile men to Blu-ray for the first time in the world with stunning 2K restoration. This is going to have the original and English audio. When this was first announced, it only was going to have the original audio, but we were able to secure the English dub afterwards. This has a booklet with writing from Umesh Bhagchandan, Eki Amanjaya, and somebody named Will Dodson. I love how much that fits right in there with those other two names. And then we got an interview with Barry Prima himself, interview with a couple of the other actors, commentary with Tim Paxton, who is an incredible author, and then we got a visual essay from Someone's Favorite Productions done by Clayton and Brad Dillard together. Will, Devil's Sword.
Yes, just to be clear, I had nothing to do with the visual essay. That is all Clayton and Brad. Excellent. Yeah, it was a great essay, great booklet essay. It's really well done.
Yours? It's great. It's really well done. Yes. This is going to be a really fun release. This is a really exciting movie. I hope people love this. There was nothing at all in the news about this slipcover this week that means anything. I love the art on this, and Earl Kess did great. I love this one.
Very, very excited.
This is a big one because both of these titles were announced in that big August 2023 rush of titles that TerraVision had. That was way too early, and Brad would say this, and he did say this on the new podcast episode that came out today, so go check that out. But this batch has been sitting and waiting on new things to happen to these for quite some time. The slipcover for this has been done, designed, and manufactured for more than a year, which is crazy. So glad this is finally going to be getting into everybody's hands. Please check these two films out. And then they are also doing a vinyl of the Sender soundtrack. Brad loves this thing. Listen to the podcast. He talks about it quite a bit. They're also doing a cassette of the Sender. And then they did this T-shirt for their Chicago pop-up that they're opening that I love the design on this one as well. This looks like a fun shirt. Then we got some Shout Factory.
Sweet.
June 3rd, we're getting a 4K in the U.S. from Shout for Monkey Shines from 1988. This is going to have a new 4K restoration, new audio commentary with the critic Eric Vespi and author Daniel Kraus, and all the same stuff that we've had and the extras before. And this is just nice to get another George A. Romero film on 4K.
If I have to choose monkeys, this is the monkey I'm choosing.
As if there was only those two. Next up, June 3rd, also, but coming as part of the Shout Select line, is Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, which has gotten so many releases in the last few years. This one is only going to include a 4K disc, no Blu-ray disc in this whatsoever, because that is already out by another company. The only new thing on this is there's an interview with the writer and film historian Julie Kurgo. For a lot of people, that is enough to purchase this. Totally get that. I just hope this looks good because all of the Blu-rays have been decent. Well, no, sorry. The last round of Blu-rays have been decent, but this has been dying for a new restoration for quite some time. So,
I literally just got the giant imprint box. Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia like 2 days before this announcement. And I was like,
perfect timing. What's going on, Steve? Jack says, had to stick around to be a cheerleader for TerraVision, but got to get to bed. See you later, Jack.
Bye, Jack.
Next up from Shout is Bring It On. Yes, that Bring It On from 2000 is getting a 4K release. This will have a 4K disc and a Blu-ray disc. And there is nothing new as far as extras on this one, but you can pick this up on June 24th as part of the Shout Select line. Any thoughts on Bring It On or its 17 sequels, Will?
It's done been brought in.
Literally said at the same time as Jack. And Joel, this was my thought on Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia for sure. I will wait for the Arrow 4K.
I know this is going to shock you. I've not seen Bring It On, but I'm not averse.
I know that this is not going to shock you either. I have seen this, but the less shocking thing here is when I posted these announcements, there was a litany of misogynists in the comments on Facebook. I never thought that could have happened, but it's true. I even had somebody comment that, why is this being released? Women do not buy 4K discs.
Well, this isn't for women. This is for men. JK. I kid the cisheads. That's a super ignorant thing to say, but I guess if you don't know any women in your life, then you might think something like that, I suppose. I don't even know, like, how do you respond to, or should you even respond to a moron like that? I don't know.
I called him a misogynist and he ended up deleting his comment. So
after Googling what that meant?
Oh, yep, Ronnie, exactly my thoughts.
And it's like, I just can't understand getting so upset about the existence of a 4K
Women.
of Bring It On that I would have anything to say about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even if you thought that in the deep dark crevices of your brain, to take the energy to type it up and be like, sinned. What a loser.
I love Teddy Will. All right.
Anyway.
So let's Bring It On. Next up, Shout is releasing The Return of the Living Dead on 4K for the third time on June 10th in a second steelbook. Why? It sells really well, I'm sure. This is going to be the exact same as the previous releases. There is literally no reason to purchase this if you have one of those, unless you are a packaging collector, and that's it.
Well, in this case, I feel like, you want something tough enough to hold everything in. I mean, the film teaches what happens if you have substandard packaging.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
So a steel book is quite apt.
Right.
And 2 is even better, I guess. Then they are releasing a repackage of Mystery Science Theater 3000 volume number 17. This is just coming on DVD like the last time. This is the one that includes The Crawling Eye, The Beatniks, The Final Sacrifice, and Blood Waters of Dr. Z. There's a bonus feature set on here for each of these. And then I love Will's comment here.
Oh, right. Yeah. One of the jokes in The Final Sacrifice. Yeah. The Final Sacrifice is one of the best episodes of Mystery Science Theater ever, in my opinion. Rousdower should have gotten a franchise.
All right. So that is coming on June 3rd. And then they are doing a collector's edition and standard edition of season 1 of Dan to Dan, the anime. This is coming on June 10th on Blu-ray from Shout. Bunch of bonus features on this one. This one is pretty popular, supposedly. Just got a season 2 art reveal today. So, yeah.
Dan to Dan.
Know nothing about it.
I know a Captain Dan to Dan. He ain't got no legs.
I was about to say. June 10th, Shout is also releasing an Amazon exclusive 4K steelbook of The Dead Zone. As far as I can remember, this is the first time Shout has released an Amazon exclusive steelbook. Everything before this has been a Walmart exclusive or a Best Buy exclusive. And here we go. I
don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything, But you know how Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post and then like messed with their editorial department
God.
so that they can't like say anything about, presidents and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, what's the dead zone about? That's all I'm saying.
That American flag on the left.
I mean, you've seen it, right?
Oh yeah, many times.
So you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Is this a subtle commentary? Is this a revolt of Amazon distributors against their overlord? Is this the Washington Post surreptitiously slipping an editorial into the Amazon algorithm? I don't know.
I'd say time will tell, but we would never find out.
I don't think legally I can say anything more without getting arrested. So
let's talk about JFK then.
Speaking of inside jobs,
June 24th, we've been hearing about this a little bit. June 24th, they're doing a standard, it's an odd repackaging of their deluxe edition. This is going to be just the JFK director's cut, coming in a single 4K case on June 24th. This was previously in their big box set that they did, and now it is just the director's cut. And there's a Blu-ray disc in it as well.
I'll tell you who killed him.
Please tell us.
Oh, not on air.
Okay. Hey, next up, Classic Flicks has launched their anniversary sale. Classic Flicks does not get enough love. Wanted to make sure that we give them a little bit of attention tonight. It begins today with great deals on Blu-rays and DVDs. They also have things that are going out of print, so you can check this out. They have a $4.99 flat shipping on their site. The things that are on sale for the first time are Angel, the Complete Series Volume 1, and then The Little Rascals, the Complete Collection. The best prices yet titles, Meet John Doe, the lowest they've ever been, and Abbott and Costello Show Season 2, lowest it's ever been. Going out of print, Out of the Blue, 1947 is out of print. This is the last chance to purchase the screwball comedy, and they released that in 2019. It's on sale for only $14.98 and will be removed from the site at the end of this sale. Other titles which are currently out of print and have less than 100 copies in stock as the time that I post this, they may be gone now, are Raw Deal, Merrily We Live, and Another Man's Poison. And
Nice.
Craig says he restored 2 of their releases.
Nicer.
Which ones, Craig? There you go. You Only Live Once and The Noose Hangs High.
Oh, I like You Only Live Once.
Good stuff. Check out the sale. Classic Flicks. You get it's classicflix.com with the FLIX for Flicks. Subway, the film from 1985, is celebrating its 40-year anniversary with a 4K steelbook from Studio Canal over in the UK. This is the Luc Besson film. Here is the inside.
Besson.
New 4K restoration of the movie with Dolby Vision, HDR. There's a new making of that's included in this. And then the second disc is full of brand new stuff, filled with the new restoration, making of Subway, new interview with Jean-Hugh Anglade, co-writer and editor, the assistant director, assistant set designer, a couple others.
What's his name again?
Jabla Fleju. I'm real great at this.
He said Pepe Le Pew. I love it. Isn't it? He's like the French John Hughes. Jean Hughes Anglais, like Le Breakfast Club.
Oh.
I wish I could actually speak French. It would have been funnier if I could have said it right, but Jean Hughes, that's funny.
Literally, while discussing this, Siminar just sent me a voice message making fun of my accent. That was fun.
Oh boy.
Yes, Sasha Jean Hughes. Oh man, I have never seen Subway. Have you seen Subway, Will?
No, I haven't seen that many Luc Besson movies actually.
Mm.
I think the only one I really know of him is one he just produced, the District B13 movies. I've seen The Fifth Element at some point or another. I never saw The Professional because it seemed kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else he did. Wait, did he do that one where Scarlett Johansson gets really smart? Or is that somebody else?
Talking about Black Widow? I'm just kidding.
No, Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. I'm not sure.
Man, Lucy
Not sure
was
at all.
stupid. But it's okay.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't seen Subway. I don't know. Is it good?
I don't know. Never seen it. Hell of a cast in it. Christopher Lambert and Isabella Adjani. That's enough for me to check out at least.
Christopher Lambert?
Yeah.
Lambert.
It's French, isn't it?
Is he French? I thought he was like Swiss or something.
I don't know. Yes, he did Lucy. You were correct. Everybody said Lucy. Man, everybody said Lucy.
Okay.
Sasha agrees. The Professional is creepy.
Okay. Great.
It's flashy, and Isabella Adjani is sexy in it. Good music by Eric Serra, too.
Okay.
All right.
I can tell you, listeners out there, that I like to sometimes do things the Subway. Just saying.
Flesh. Wow, Will. June 10th, there's a Blu-ray coming from Kino of Handsome Harry from 2009. This one is one that I've not heard of before. We got a couple audio commentaries on this one. The director, Betty Gordon, is on this, and the actor, Jamie Sheridan, also does a commentary. There's a behind-the-scenes featurette. And, I'd never heard of this one. Had you?
Who's putting this out?
Kino.
Oh, well. I don't know why I acted surprised. It's like, well, obviously it's just a random movie. Yeah. Yeah, that looks neat. I don't know this movie.
Cat sounds good.
Yeah.
Next one from Kino, also June 10th, Beware of Mr. Baker from 2012. Ginger Baker is the original rock and roll madman junkie superstar who everyone thought was dead but somehow survived 50 plus years of drug abuse, disastrous experiments, and 4 marriages on 3 continents. This is the story. We got an audio commentary by the director Jay Bolger and a trailer. And it looks like a must buy for me.
Well, spoiler alert, he's kind of a dick.
I'm not shocked.
I mean, I guess Cream is all right, but between I don't know if Jack Bruce is a dick, but between Eric Clapton and Ginger Baker, it's kind of hard to get into him.
Understandable. June 10th, Raro is putting out Alien Terror from 1980. This one will have an audio commentary by Adrian Smith and Rod Barnett from the Wild Wild West podcast.
Wild West.
There's also an interview with Eli Roth on this, and then alternate English features, audio dub. This used to be called sometimes Alien 2 on Earth. Alien 2. Love the art on this.
Yeah.
All right. June 17th, Kino Lorber is releasing I, Madman from 1989 as number 31 of their Kino cult line. This will have a lot of the same extras from the previous release. I think the visual essay by Chris O'Neill here is new. It's called Much of Madness, More of Sin. I can't find it on any of the other Blu-ray releases, so I'm guessing it is new. Good movie. Good movie. I like I, Madman.
I have not seen it.
All right. There was some talk on this one recently because it's been playing in theaters. June 17th, Milestone Films through Kino Lorber is going to release The Annihilation of Fish from 1999. This is starring the one and only James Earl Jones and Margot Kidder, both gone in the last year. This is going to have a new audio commentary by Charles Burnett, the director, moderated by Maya Cade. There is going to be a 55-minute film from 1997 by Charles Burnett, the director.
Oh, shit. This is unbelievable. We're getting like 3 Charles Burnett movies in like the span of a couple months after nothing for so long. I mean, the Killer of Sheep DVD has been out of print forever, and now we're getting it in 4K from Criterion, and now The Annihilation of Fish. Plus, what's the short feature that it comes with?
The Final Insult.
Jeez, it's amazing.
There's also going to be a Q&A with Burnett on this, too.
That's so cool. I was just doing a unit in cult films on the LA Rebellion, so of course we go over Jamal Fanaka and Julie Dash and Charles Burnett and all those folks, and we watched Jamal Fanaka's MMA, which is a great film, and showed some clips from Killer of Sheep. So I've never seen The Annihilation of Fish. This is very exciting.
I just want to point out one thing. I'm excited to see Maya Cade getting more and more involved in these releases. She is a great scholar. She's talked on a couple other of the LA Rebellion films. She's done a lot of work with Milestone and Kino and that group. Good stuff. You can follow her on Blue Sky.
Oh, cool. I don't know her work. I'll have to check her out.
Cohen Media Group through Kino is putting out The President's Wife with Catherine Deneuve from 2023. This is coming on June 17th. This will have some deleted scenes and a trailer on here as well. And yeah.
Bro, I tell you what, there's nothing more dangerous than being married to a French dude. I tell you what, I'm not even joking. That place... the fuck? Like, seriously, Gerard Depardieu basically admits to everything he's been accused of, and his response is like, I'm a slob. And the President Macron has been like, he makes some good movies though. Crazy. And then I'm not even going to get into the other reasons it's dangerous to be married to French dudes, but holy cow, clean it up, France.
You know what's crazy, Will? We've been going almost 2 hours. We haven't even started OCN yet.
We haven't done Vinegar Syndrome.
That's OCN. Same thing. Yes. Indicator has launched their first sale of the year that is live right now, and it is going until Tuesday, the 8th of April. They are including more than 350 titles. The sale covers both UK and US and Canada titles, as well as 4Ks, Blu-rays, box sets. There are stuff on sale for the first time, including Bruiser, Columbia Noir number 6, The Whistler, which I need to get. Damn it.
I ordered it.
And then The Complete Confessions, amongst others. They're also doing their 4 for £20 deal and added hundreds of titles. If you wish to take advantage of that, just add 4 more eligible titles identified by the red badge to your cart. And then in the cart, those go down immediately. Yeah. Check it out. By the way, if you are wondered about shipping, standard shipping policy for all of the items is as follows. Free track shipping to the UK for £50. For EU, US, and Canadian addresses, free track shipping at £200 or more. For the rest of the world, free track shipping over £250.
Oh, dang. I didn't realize that. Oh, well.
What, the free shipping?
Yeah, I didn't quite get to the threshold. Oh, I wasn't anywhere near the threshold, so it's fine. I actually was fairly responsible.
May 27th, here in the U.S., we are getting 2 steelbooks for the first 2 Lord of the Rings films. We are getting The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers. These are the same steelbooks that were in that big library steelbook collection. These films have been released on 4K multiple times now. Nothing new on the disc, just releasing packaging for people that are addicted to the packaging.
Lord of the Cha-ching.
Literally, yes. Next up is the next Hammer announcement, and this is Shatter from 1974, which is a co-production with Shaw Brothers Studios, coming on 4K on May 12th over in the UK. This will have a new audio commentary with Leon Hunt and Adrian Smith, and the new commentary with Heidi Honeycutt and Toby Roan. There's going to be some interviews, featurettes, some extras, new huge booklet with lots of new writing on this, double-sided poster. Their releases have been pretty damn impressive. Go ahead.
This release was so intense that it shattered your microphone. You're cutting in and out. Nobody can hear you.
Oh, no.
I know, man. Happens every time you're with me.
And that's the only time. All right, you can keep talking for a minute. I'll reset this.
You're fine now.
Oh, well, then I don't know what happened.
It'll probably happen again, but...
Cool. So Shatter. Yeah, this is the third of the big 4K releases. And
nice.
Sorry, just deleting somebody from the stream.
Man,
Lilo,
I didn't see what they said, though.
just racist remarks. Coming on May 6th on 4K in the US from Disney is Lilo and Stitch from 2002. For anybody that was looking at what cut this is going to be, this is likely to be the quote censored cut. Unfortunately, this was changed since the original release.
They censored Lilo and Stitch?
They reanimated it in a couple of different scenes, and it is quite odd. Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah. I don't even truly know. Somebody else could probably explain, but yeah, this is an odd one for sure. And of course, the live action remake comes out this year on May 23rd, so they're trying to capitalize on the popularity of that.
There's a live action remake?
There is, yes.
Who's doing that?
Disney?
No, I mean filmmaker.
Oh, I have no idea who's.
You know they're going to have to give Sean Baker one of these now.
A Disney live action remake.
That's what happens when you win an award. You get called up and you either do a Disney live action or an MCU.
Which classic Disney movie is perfect for a Sean Baker a live action remake?
Right, he's got to either do that or an MCU movie. Those are his choices.
Oh, that's what I'm asking. Which one is perfect? We have to discover this right now.
Sleeping Beauty?
It's not a bad one. I could see.
Trying to think of one the closest to having sex workers.
I could see. Spaghetti says Peter Pan. I could see a great version of Fox and the Hound.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, that'd be so sad though.
Sean Baker's Pinocchio. There's too many of those.
Pinocchio. Well, I mean, they do go to a house of ill repute.
Ick Studio says, I think the Lilo and Stitch recut had to do with some indigenous stereotypes. I watched the deleted scene of my race and ethnicity in the cinematic arts, and it was wild.
Okay. Fine, I guess. Yeah, go ahead and update it.
All right. The black circles got me. I was not ready for that. All right, we are on to the Vinegar Syndrome announcements. Again, all of these titles, for some reason, people don't seem to those.
You're cutting out again.
I'm gonna disconnect and come back.
That's the show.
You carry on for a moment.
Lucio Fulci's Murder Rock, not one of his top tier classics, but certainly a sleazoid's delight. We lost the visual, but you know what we're looking at. We're looking at murder. We're looking at rock. We're looking at Murder Rock. Okay, so back to which Disney movie? No, I love Murder Rock. Actually, I think it's a lot of fun. How you doing, buddy?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I don't know what happened.
We can't see Murder Rock anymore.
No, because I was sharing that and I left, so it's gone. Okay, so Vinegar Syndrome title.
Girl, yes.
I have people asking this all the time, and I guess I never say it. So
You're breaking up again. So look,
right.
people, the important thing is Murder Rock's going to be in 4K. If you've got the subscription, this is coming. If you don't got the subscription and you're a Fulci fan, this needs to be in your collection. What was the previous release of Murder Rock? I think there was a
Scorpion.
Blu-ray. Yeah, there was a Blu-ray. Maybe it's Scorpion.
Yep.
Okay.
One thing that I always forget to say with Vinegar Syndrome releases that people ask like once a month. These are shipping at the end of this month, so starting in about 3 weeks. If you order this now, you're not waiting a few months. This will be shipping in the month of April. On Murder Rock, this is an outer hard box, and then this is the slipcover on the inside. There is the hard box and the slipcover. This one is going to be a 2-disc set, 4K disc, Blu-ray disc. We've got a English language theatrical stereo soundtrack as well as the Italian language dub. We've got a bunch of interviews on this that Eugenio Ercolani was able to do, including an interview with Eugenio Ercolani. We've got people that have never been on camera before talking about this, which is really nice. And then a 40-page book with essays by Stephen Thrower, Amanda Reyes, and Al Cliver.
Beautiful.
By far, probably going to be the definitive release. There is a competing 88 Films 4K out there, but they will have very unique extras from what I told. Then, the nesting.
Vinegar Syndrome was probably happy about the tariffs.
That was funny. The Nesting is coming on 4K from Vinegar Syndrome as well. This is from 1981. This has had, I believe, a previous Blu-ray here in the U.S. From Shout.
Blue Underground.
Oh, Blue Underground. That's what it was.
We don't get to say them very often, but when we do, it's always with reverence.
Well, and that Blu-ray came out in 2011. So This is a long, later, and worthy upgrade, I'm sure, on 4K. This one, Sibner says, amazing that you have to blur drawn nipples. Can you not show classic works of art on here? No, I cannot. This one, newly restored in 4K from the original 35 millimeter negative. This one will have a 2-disc set as well, 4K disc, Blu-ray disc. Commentary with the writer and critic Andy Marshall Roberts. A bunch of interviews coming on this one as well. And a couple featurettes, including a featurette produced by the Vinegar Syndrome Film Archive, talking about preserving Armand Weston's Gothic horror. There's also a 30-minute interview with Stephen Thrower on this.
Sweet. That is definitely going to improve appreciation of this film, which doesn't have, I think, the reputation that it deserves. I think it's better than a lot of people give it credit for being. I think I'm hopeful that the 4K upgrade will show how cool the Gothic atmosphere is.
Yeah, I think this one will stick out for quite a lot of people. And yes, it is also a longer cut that's never before been released.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Next up is a double feature of Devil Doll and Curse of the Voodoo.
And this is not the Tod Browning Devil Doll of 1934. This is a 1960s Devil Doll.
That would be an interesting companion. This is from 1964 and 1965. Newly scanned and restored in 4K from their OCNs. We got a commentary with Kim Newman and Barry Forshaw on Devil Doll. Commentary with the producer Richard Gordon and film historian Tom Weaver on Devil Doll. Commentary with Rod Barnett and Adrian Smith on Curse of the Voodoo. A couple interviews, including Kim Newman for 23 minutes on Curse of the Voodoo, Jonathan Rigby on Devil Doll for 25 minutes, and then some alternate clothed scenes for Devil Doll.
That you can watch if you wish. It's like, you know what? I want to see what this movie looks like when they wear their clothes.
Getting into their VSA line for the month, Igor and the Lunatics from 1985 is their VSA. You can check this out now. It is from who is the name of it? Spooky's directors, Thomas Dorn and Brendan Faulkner, I believe. They did a couple of the bonus scenes, at least, in this. This was actually directed by W.J. Parolini. This is newly scanned and restored in 4K as well from the 16 millimeter. And then we've got a making of doc that is 34 minutes long, reversible sleeve, and the usual on this one. This one looks fun.
Yeah, the trailer looked great. It'd be a good double feature with Josh Becker's "Thou Shalt Not Kill Except." Both good, fun, low budget Manson inspired movies.
Yeah.
I always like to pick up the trauma licensed films in the hope that eventually I will develop enough karma for them to do Merchants of Death. The best remaining unreleased trauma licensed film.
Maybe someday. Then this is an interesting one. Distribpix is putting out Last Tango in Paris from 1972 on 4K. But what's odd is you can get it with this art on the Vinegar Syndrome site, or you can get it with this art on the Melusine site.
Or you can save $8
and get no slipcover or hardbox.
And just get them. I didn't realize that the box cost $8. And then I switched to the standard and was like, thankfully I can easily slide that box right off and just get the movie by itself.
This is a 2-disc set. We got a 4K disc and a Region A Blu-ray disc. We got an interview with Bertolucci collaborator Francesco Barilli, interview with the editor. We've got a couple other interviews on this one, featurette, 40-page book with essays by Allison Anders, Heather Drain, and Jim Hemphill. This is a movie that has, of course, a handful of controversies associated with it.
A handful, huh? Yeah, so what are the ethics of watching Last Tango in Paris?
Well, I mean, for me, for separating the art from the artist, I am okay purchasing and watching a film like this. So, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually had a conversation with Sam about this, and we both agreed, like, the movie crews are a pretty good number of people. Like, the likelihood that somebody is a scumbag is high on every single movie.
Yeah.
And, I think of someone like Roman Polanski or whatever, and I would say, the thing is, people can do monstrous things, and they can also do amazing artistic things, and that's part of what makes the monstrous thing so scary, is that monstrous things are not done by monsters, they're done by people, right? And but I wonder if there's a difference when the alleged crime is perpetrated,
happening during the filming,
the course of the filming. I've read all the stories and the perspectives and everything, and I think the film has been made, and the film is divisive on its own merit, regardless of the damage that was done to Maria. But so, you know, I think I'm with you. You know, the film is made. I think it's important to watch it in context with knowing, you know, the controversy surrounding it, and then decide what you think of it as a piece of art. And maybe check out the Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon will settle it.
Which supposedly like one of the worst movies in the last handful of years. Yeah, this one obviously got a lot of comments on social media with a lot of people pushing back on this even coming out. But in all reality, what's crazy is, you know, a while ago there was a petition to get this released by Criterion, and then all this stuff came out and people learned a lot about this, and then
they went with Romeo and Juliet instead.
Yeah, everybody stayed far away from this film. For this to be not to like talk down to this film necessarily, but not to talk down about the label, but for a film to be in, you know, petition talks for getting on Criterion to end up on DistribPix is a wild journey for a Bertolucci film to take.
I think it's appropriate.
I don't think it's inappropriate. I just think it's a crazy story.
I mean, DistribPix is art house sex films.
Yes, it is.
Am I missing something?
No. It's just to go from Criterion to DistribPix is a hell of a journey.
One I would willingly take any time.
I understand that. Next title is for Cinemagraph.
This one's far more controversial to me.
And it is Drop Zone from 1994 getting a 4K release from Cinemagraph. The Wesley Snipes film going 4K. This one is going to have a new commentary with director and exec producer John Badham, cinematographer Roy H. Wagner, moderated by Justin LaLiberty. New commentary by Max Every, new video interview with the producer. We've got new interview with the film music historian Daniel Schweiger about the Hans Zimmer score. A new visual essay by Daniel Kramer on this one. New text essays by Simon Abrams, Bill Gabiri, and Mark Edward Hook, and Justin LaLiberty. And yeah, this is their first title that is...
Sorry, I was trying to look at a comment.
And you highlight this.
Didn't mean to. I don't know what I'm doing. Make it go away.
We can tell. Yes, Pulp Viking wanted to comment. Polanski raped a 13-year-old, maybe not during filming, but trying to set the rules for what is okay and what is not has been crossed by Polanski. I don't think anybody would argue that.
Yeah, nobody said that. I said he did something really monstrous.
Anyways, Drop Zone.
Sorry, dude.
Wesley Snipes.
I didn't mean to touch the button. I think this
Gary Busey in 4K.
This one's interesting. I don't understand. I don't understand. Also, I like the tchotchkes that come with it.
Oh yeah, they're doing a parachute with it.
Yeah, I don't know. This one seems. I don't understand why this is on Cinematograph, but I don't really care. I am probably not interested in this particular movie, but I'm excited that it's been released.
You know, the whole should this be Cinematograph thing, I understand that John Badham did this. It does still feel wildly out of place compared to, you know, the VSAs or VSUs. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever really mind. People can put stuff on whatever label, but Drop Zone, wow, okay.
And then the most controversial thing of the week, which is hilarious because of what we just talked about, Vinegar Syndrome announced their next April Fool's Day thing, which this year was announced as a flying disc frisbee. And the picture they used had a disc on the bottom side of the frisbee. And it was claimed to be the special disc will only be available on our website until midnight Eastern on April Fool's Day. So this was, a couple days ago. But VS made a grave mistake when listing this on their website and used the phrase special tech in their listing. And therefore, PayPal was denying the purchases of everybody trying to order this with PayPal. And so there are many people that did not get to order this all day that are pissed. And I think that is wild.
Special tech gets flagged? Why?
Because PayPal doesn't want to be an associate to a crime. They don't know. They just have certain things. But
Frisbee decapitation.
It should be obvious. Like, you don't, you would never, I don't know, Vinegar Syndrome would never make a listing that's called, like, weapons. You should have named it something else. Name it Flying Disc. And it would have
a movie called Deadly Weapons?
Probably. And look at that. We got somebody that only orders through PayPal, so probably could not purchase it. Stan, it is an April Fool's joke, but people who purchase this will get something, and it's clearly going to be at least one film. And it will be shipping around Black Friday.
Whoa, there's a movie in it?
There will be.
Shit. I thought it was just a Frisbee. I was like, I don't want that.
No, it's a movie.
Damn it. Watch it be Master of the Flying Guillotine on 4K, and only 50 copies are ever made.
It's not. Merch was also released. We got this Infested Tee. We've got this Vincent Sirens Derriere shirt. And then a Cinematograph Mistaken Tripod shirt. This sticker, VS Looking for Fun bumper sticker. And then this Cinematograph sticker that sold out within 5 minutes. Which is crazy. And yeah, that's VS.
Huh.
All right. Celeste says, I think we know what movie. We do? What is the guess? Because I don't think so. All right, going through the partner labels. First up from Bill Movement is Artie Shaw, Time Is All You Got from 1985. This is directed by Bridget Berman, I'm assuming is how you say this. Audio commentary with the director and English sub is all that is on this disc. Yeah, Film Movement. They release a lot of stuff.
Yes, definitely want to see this. Artie Shaw, legend. I don't really get his music, but I want to pretend.
Maybe after watching this. Next up from Film Movement is The Marquis of O from 1976.
Ordered, updating my DVD at last.
This is a Romare title.
Hell yeah.
We've got essays by David Thompson and Christine Yunsu Kim on this one as well. Some archival interviews and English subs.
I opted out of the slipcover for that one.
You know what? One thing to keep in mind, when you mentioned that for I don't remember what title that was, the Distripix title. The
Last
big thing is when you opt out of the slip, you also don't get the booklet.
Yeah, I know.
This one, there's no booklet, so it's much easier to opt out of.
Yeah, just drop the slip.
And then the next one from Film Movement is Playground from 2021. This is about bullying. Looks really good. There's a bonus short film on here as well with an essay by film critic Rafa Sales Ross. And yeah, I am very eager to see this one.
Yeah.
Saturn's core for this month is Bone Sickness from 2004. This is supposedly heavy on the gore, but not a film that a lot of people seem to love in the comments. I've not seen this one. It was an old Unearthed Films DVD way back in the day, I believe.
Huh.
And this will have a new 2025 commentary with the director Brian Paulin and actor-producer Rich George. New commentary with Justin DeClue and Adam Thorne. An archival commentary on here as well. A demo version from 2004. A bunch of other extras. New 2025 featurette. New 2025 location tour. Outtakes, archival stunt reels, all kinds of stuff. Another loaded disc from Saturn's Core.
Well, I know nothing of this film's reputation, but that looks fun to me.
Yeah, definitely does. And then we got Good Madam from Shudder for this month from 2021. One interesting thing, Justin LaLiberty confirmed this on the Facebook groups. There was a banner that showed up on the Vinegar Syndrome website and in their email that included Blood Quantum as coming from Shudder. It is not there this month. It got delayed, and it will be coming soon still.
Sweet.
Is that one that you've seen and liked then?
I like Blood Quantum. It flies off the rails, but it has one of the best endings. I have not seen Good Madam, but I'm definitely going to preview that this weekend on Shudder. Looks kind of neat.
Yeah, lots of extras on this one too. Commentary with the director, bunch of video interviews on this one. Booklet with new writing by Jordan Searles.
Is this South African film?
I believe it is. It is. Oh, I thought it said. Huh.
Somebody can confirm for us.
Yeah, not entirely sure there. All right, going to our next one. Heavier Trip from 2024 is the next title from Music Box Films. This was my first must purchase when I saw this list. I loved Heavy Trip. Very excited to see this one. This one has behind the scenes of Heavier Trip, an interview with Baby Metal on this. There's Heavier Trip at Fantastic Fest, which was, I believe, Heavy Trip at Fantastic Fest was on the first disc, and that was one of the funniest parts of that whole disc. So funny seeing them in full makeup at the festival. Yeah, this, I hope that it's good. I really hope that it's good.
I definitely will see this.
Did you see the first one?
Yeah.
Good. It is very funny.
Hey, can I ban somebody?
Yes.
Bye.
Who are you banning? Oh. Did he say something else?
Getting too political.
Okay. All right. Whoops. Icarus Films, The Human Pyramid and The Punishment from 1961 and 1962 is their next title. This is one that I definitely want to check out. We got an additional film on here. It says The Punishment, booklet with an essay about Rauch, the director, and I want to check these out. This one sounded very good.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I need to get Icarus on the show. All right. Let me respond. All right, next one. Factory 25 is doing Louder Than You Think, a lo-fi history of Gary Young and Pavement. Will. Oh, man. This says, an up-close cinematic walkabout through the life of Gary Young, the original and highly unlikely drummer of indie rock royalty Pavement, his booze and drugs-fueled antics on stage, handstands, grifting vegetables to fans, and haphazard production methods accidentally helping launch the lo-fi aesthetic were both a driving force of the band's early rise and the cause of his eventual crash landing. This one has deleted scenes, behind-the-scenes featurette, 32-page booklet, and more. Again, the music things, they stick out immediately to me.
I hate Pavement.
You hate Pavement. Why?
They suck. To me. I'm sure every band is someone's favorite band. I did not understand the Pavement thing. It was the weirdest part of the 90s to me.
Understood. Understood.
So I guess, should I acknowledge that I made a mistake?
No, I found a way to undo it, so he should be good to come back. I went back into YouTube Studio and I unbanned him.
Should I reach
Go
out
ahead,
in
Will.
person?
Well, I don't know if they can see it. Go ahead and say something.
Well, not if they're not going to hear it.
Well, I don't know that it kicked them out immediately. They probably just couldn't comment. So, Pulp Viking, if you're still watching, you were banned accidentally and brought back.
No, I did it on purpose, but it was a mistake, I guess. It looked like you were trolling, and I was getting kind of antsy about it. So,
No,
my bad.
He's here quite often.
My bad. People get sensitive these days, you know.
Dickwood, you are not getting banned. You're good.
I learned a valuable lesson not to touch the buttons.
Love Crime is the next title. This is from IFC Films. This is from 2010. I feel like this is one that you've seen. Have you seen this one?
I have not. This was an OCN month where, other than the Eric Romer movie, I was like, I don't know these. So, yeah, I don't know Love Crime. What's it about?
This one says the final film from director Elaine Corneau and Oscar nominee Kristen Scott Thomas against. Let's see, I missed a couple verbs or something. Love Crime pits the fiery talents of Ludwig Sagnier and Oscar nominee Kristen Scott Thomas against each other in a deliciously twisted tale of office politics that turn literally cutthroat.
Okay.
This one has a new commentary by Travis Woods, new visual essay by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, and a new booklet with writing by Katie Wright.
Watch that with disclosure.
Everybody asking to be banned and unbanned now.
Jeez, I feel like such a bad person.
Oh, man. The next title is from Memory. Which
wait.
I don't...
Hold on, we're not done with Love Crime.
Oh. Yes.
I did not know that.
Remake. Yeah.
Okay, so it's all passion. Okay. Cool. I just said I wasn't going to touch the button anymore, but then I totally redeemed myself.
But at least it was for Joel, who's amazing. So. Dick Wood says, it's odd. I hear helicopters over my house. So shut
Don't tempt me.
Oh, man. Okay. Memory. I don't have anything from Memory, the partner label, yet. Have you got anything from them?
No. They've released a couple films. They didn't do Carpet Cowboys, did they?
I think they did, yeah. I think that was their first title or their second title.
I'm still amused by that one.
Oh, look, he made it back. Welcome back, Pulp. It was an accident.
Okay, sorry, buddy. My bad.
Okay, so Memory is putting out Physician, Heal Thyself from 2023. It offers a searingly intimate portrait of the celebrated expert on addiction, stress, and trauma. The documentary follows Gaber Mate's life journey from his start as a young contrarian to a contemporary icon still struggling to manage his painful past and complicated behaviors. This will have some bonus scenes, and that is it.
Oof. That sounds complicated.
It does.
I prefer my complex characters to be fictional.
Project Omicron is the next VHS Hit Fest title, and this is the slipcover. This one is directed by Jared Whitman. It is from 1999. It'll be region free, newly transferred from the original master. We get an intro by the director, audio commentary by the director, audio commentary with some of the actors, some interviews, behind the scenes footage, bloopers, and 10 short films. That's a lot.
Packed to the gills.
As usual, Dan does really great with his discs. I'm always happy to see what he's able to put out. This was my other must purchase. Yellow Veil is putting out Rats from 2024. If you have not seen the trailer for this one, go look it up. It looks really, really great. I have heard that it is amazingly funny. Yellow Veil is putting this out, and it is directed by Carl Fry and Maxwell Malavensky. It's got director's commentary part 1, part 2, and part 3. Milfs, Dilfs, and Kilfs is one of the subtitles there. This is supposedly very crude and hilarious.
Yeah, what is a kilf?
No idea what a kilf is. Yeah. There's a lot of words on here that I probably shouldn't say. Short film with pleasure is also included. Post-nut clarity, deleted scenes, Blumpkins, and more. New painted poster by Carrie Lassard. And then an essay by Justine Smith. I needed this for sure. And then Severance. This is the next title from Magnolia. This is... Yes?
It's a killer I would like to engage in activities with.
Amazing.
So
I'm so glad it's not Kid.
Whoa!
Just saying. I've said I'm glad.
Jeez, man.
Oh, wow. That was really funny. Severance from 2006 is the next title from Magnolia. This is directed by Christopher Smith with Danny Dyer and Toby Stevens. Sivner says, I went to Kangaroo first. Oh, man.
Jeez. I mean, not that bestiality is much better, but yeah, no, I was thinking of totally, yeah, I'm going to ban you. Talk about a severance.
This one will have a new commentary with the director, whole bunch of other extras on here as well. Kim Newman does a moderating on here for the commentary. We've got a bunch of archival extras, book with new writing by Molly Henry, and I've not seen this one. Have you seen Severance?
No, I'll check that one out.
This got an umbrella release too.
Oh.
Good to know.
I want to take a time out to address Mr. Viking, or I shouldn't say address Viking, Pope Viking. I apologize for banning you. We got ultra sensitive, honestly, over the past couple weeks about political comments in the chats. Mainly hate getting directed my way. Ryan gets it every day. He's used to it, but I'm very sensitive because I only get it every now and then.
Yeah, I do.
So I do. I apologize. If you hate me now, I'll understand.
Cool. I had to give you the full screen.
No, I'll take it.
All right. Next up is AGFA doing their re-release of The Sword and the Claw. We knew that all of their old titles, when they were on their own, were going to get re-released under OCN eventually. So this is this one getting its re-release. This is region-free, preserved from the only known 35mm theatrical print. It has an action trailer reel from AGFA. It's got a bonus movie, The Brawl Busters, on here from 1978. Korean martial arts extravaganza that screened with The Sword and the Claw during its original U.S. theatrical run. And this one, did you ever watch this AGFA disc?
Yeah, I have the first. Everything's the same, right? All the extras.
Yep.
Okay, great. So yeah, this is fun. I haven't watched all the extras yet, but the movie's a blast. Yeah,
this is a good one. This is from the same areas like Turkish Star Wars. Is what they what they do. This is a good looking slip for this release. Glad it's coming out. And then we've got Enjoy the Ride, or ETR Media, putting out Underdeveloped from 2022. This is a mockumentary about a group of failed and inexperienced producers forced to work together at a failing production company. Got some semi-big names in this. We've got Thomas Ian Nicholas, Brian Metcalf, Tom Arnold, Dave Keckner, Sam Levine. We got an audio commentary from the director and select members of the cast, extended and never seen interviews, and a trailer on this one.
Didn't we just have something similar to this where they go to camp and they have to produce art for the Wu-Tang Clan?
That is so specific, and either that exists and I have a terrible memory, or...
It definitely exists.
Okay.
You have a terrible memory. Somebody in the chat will know what I'm talking about.
I generally don't. That's why I'm worried. Did I hit my head today?
It's a bunch of like, Upright Citizens Brigade people and other like mid-tier famous people at a camp where they're trying to overcome their creative blocks. And
all right.
The organizer is one of the Wu-Tang Clan.
I'll trust you.
I think it's Reza.
That checks out.
So we're just going to move. We're not going to talk about Tom Arnold's triumphant return to straight-to-video mockumentaries.
Go ahead. Let's hear your diatribe.
No, I don't have one out. Good on you.
I didn't have one prepared.
Good on you, buddy. I like. I
like Sam Levine.
Freaks and Geeks, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dave Koechner got arrested.
For real, got arrested?
Yeah, for drunk driving.
Well, could happen to anybody.
Next up is the Catalog doing. I just heard what you said. Oh man, I spelled unfinished incorrectly on this. What we left unfinished from 2019. I'm gonna just scroll up and hide that.
I left this first draft unfinished.
In a time when film was more than just entertainment, it was a weapon. What we left unfinished unearths the incredible true stories behind 5 unfinished feature films from Afghanistan's communist era from 1978 to 1991. Filmmakers who dared to defy the odds, creating stories that both reflected and resisted the shifting political tides, were thrust into a battle where their craft became a matter of life and death.
I got a pretty good idea why they didn't get finished if they were made in Afghanistan between 1970 and 1991. But I'm very interested in checking that out.
Yeah, this sounds great. The Catalog does great work with this. Very interested in seeing this. We got an intro from Mariam Ghani on this, extended interviews, Q&A with filmmakers, trailers, discussions. This sounds really, really solid.
Oh, wait, is bro really from Greenland?
Pulp, yeah.
No shit, for real?
I believe so.
Oh, my bad, dude. I didn't know you were trying to defend your homeland.
You already had the full screen apology, and now you're digging in for that.
No, it's not. I'm on your side, brother. When the battle comes, sign me up. Oh
man, tonight is a shit show.
So literally trying to protect his land.
Yes. Oh, he's Danish.
Right.
All right, Cartoona. When You Get to the Forest is the next release.
No, I just want to make the rest of the show talking to Pulp Viking. That's cool.
Should we send Pulp an invite to come on the show now?
Why not? That's pretty awesome. Okay, what's this movie?
This is an animated film from 2022. This is region free. It's got A Year in the Forest, a making of doc, production diaries, directors and writers commentary. Cartoona has been doing some really unique stuff. I am really glad that they came on as a partner label fairly recently.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cali Kid. Says, love your program. You checked anything from Cartoona out yet?
No, not yet, but I'd like to.
Hundreds of Beavers. Big hit.
Still haven't seen it. Speaking of.
That was perfect. The mail you've seen titles for this month is Baby Rosemary, and this is a double feature with Hot Lunch, both coming on Blu-ray. Nothing new on these. These are both upgrades from the previous DVD that Vinegar Syndrome released a while ago. There is a couple people that are very vocal about how pissed off they are about all of the Melusine titles coming out right now are just upgrades. I mean, it's proper HD film archival. I understand being frustrated that every single disc is not brand new, but come on.
I think it's great that they're upgrading their early DVD discs. This is what made their company to begin with.
Yeah.
I think I have that double. It's just like one DVD with both features on it, right?
Yes, sir. With nothing else on the disc.
Yeah, so this will look great. Nothing else on it. But anyway.
Next up is from Pulse, and this is Jose Benazeraf, and it is the Forbidden Films from 1973 to 1976. This is 465 minutes of films on this, newly scanned and restored in 2K and 4K from their OCNs.
Does this star Sting? Because he does the tantric yoga sex. Lasts forever. 400 and what?
465 minutes, yes.
Good God.
Pretty crazy. Ronnie says, I like how secret sexual fantasies is capitalized. Yeah, this is a hell of a good-looking release. Pulse does some good work, too. Let's see. Next is... we're done with OCN. All right, so let me go back to this blacked-out cover. How do you feel about the month from OCN there, Will?
Fine. I mean, nothing like knocked me out. I was really excited about the Eric Romer film. At least 6 or 7 that I would really like to see, maybe also pick up. So a lot of stuff to be curious about. Not a lot of stuff where I was, jumping on it day one, but that's not necessarily criticism. There's a bunch of stuff that I have to check out because I just don't know.
Yeah, very similar to me. I would say last month was a very impressive month for partner label stuff that I felt like I had to get day one because they were great. This month, a lot of unknown stuff that a lot of it I'd never heard of but sound really good.
Yeah. Do you hear the ocean behind me?
Yeah, sounds very comforting. You getting a little tired?
Well, I don't know. I got a weird energy tonight, so.
Just a little bit?
No, man. Stuff going on. Political stuff, But
I've heard of it, yeah.
I mean, it's as you know, it's affecting many of our job situations, so it's been something.
That is a good point, Ronnie. No CIP released this month.
I think they pulled it in protest. Anyway, Ultraman.
Callie, do we think Stanley Kubrick's Lolita is too controversial to release on Blu-ray or 4K? No, but I have a feeling it'll come this year.
They just released Adrian Lyne's version last year. Was that Imprint?
Imprint, yep.
Yeah.
And I think Kino announced that they were doing it after that too. I mean, Kino just did Pretty Baby after Imprint did.
Yeah. I mean, Lolita, Kubrick's Lolita is extremely uncomfortable, but Lyne's Lolita is much more explicit.
Yeah.
So I don't think there should be an issue with re-releasing Kubrick's Lolita.
I love that we're talking about Lolita with Ultraman on the screen. June 3rd, Mill Creek is releasing Ultraman Decker, the complete series. This will also include Ultraman Decker Finale, Journey to Beyond. They have been killing the Ultraman releases. I'm sure this is going to be great. And,
I've never seen any of the Ultraman stuff. What is that?
It's we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. I used the wrong word then. I think it's technically kaiju, where it's like big monster movie. It's kind of like Power Rangers type, but more serious.
More serious.
Yes.
Okay.
Not like made for kids necessarily.
Speaking of serious films,
love this movie. Turbine over in Germany is releasing Abigail on 4K on April 10th. This is just coming in a regular Amaray case, but afterwards they will be doing a media book and steelbook as well. To me, this indicates that we will likely be getting the 4K from, I'm guessing, Scream Factory in like 4 or 5 months in the US. When this was announced as a Blu-ray only in the States, I did say watch it come out on 4K from Scream Factory in a handful of months. This seems to be a pretty clear definition of that. Love this movie. I wish the trailer would have been different and it kept the main storyline a secret, but this movie is genuinely incredible.
I saw it.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you think of Abigail?
I liked a lot of it. When when they decided to give every character like a backstory and a little character development exposition, I was like, what the hell? This is ridiculous. And not in the way the rest of the movie is ridiculous.
Your Cali kid's favorite.
Yeah, as long as the kid was the main focus of the film, I really liked it.
Yep.
But whenever the adults are talking, I was just like, why are you having this conversation right now?
When the rest of the house is going through a lot. I get it.
Even before that, I'm like, who talks to people about this stuff?
That is true. Next up, Universal. Speaking of them, like we just did, April 22nd, they are releasing a Blu-ray of the show Hysteria, and they're calling it Season 1, which is hilarious because it was already canceled. Why not call it the complete series or the limited series?
I kind of feel like they overreacted.
I also like that face that you just held. I also like that Bruce Campbell is the largest advertised on the cover of this, and he's just a guest actor in a very small part on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's no point in me watching it. I thought he was like the main lead.
No, I don't even think he's in every episode.
Shit. Why don't I watch that?
I mean, Julie Bowen, she's good.
Julie Bowen. Dexter.
Love interest in I don't know about Dexter. I didn't watch Dexter. Happy Gilmore. The love interest in Happy Gilmore and from Modern Family.
That's Julie Bowen on Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Wow. I never knew that.
Colton says, loved Hysteria. Peacock had 2 great horror shows and canceled both. What was the other one? Modern Family and Ed.
Wow. You know, I heard she was doing really great things with advertising.
Arcade. Yes. This is the next title, July 15th, Blu-ray from Full Moon of 1991's Arcade. This is from David S. Goyer, who gave us Blade. We are getting this on Blu-ray for the first time ever. Audio commentary with Charles Band and Megan Ward. We've got original trailer, Video Zone, interview, rare VFX reel, Full Moon trailers. And Will is very excited because it's Full Moon.
I am, and I also just discovered that Julie Benz and Julie Bowen are different people. So had to look them up. Arcade, baby. With a Charles Band commentary. I'm so glad Full Moon has finally started to do. It's ironic because Full Moon pioneered supplemental features with their Full Moon's Video Zone in the VHS days. And then when they went to DVD and Blu-ray, they didn't do shit for Pulp Viking asks, Arcade, is it any good? And the answer is, it depends. I think it's great. Many people disagree. It's very, it's very
Full Moon.
Yeah, it's very Full Moon. It's super fun and low budget and campy and stupid in a good way. I love
And
arcade.
that's Arcade coming soon. Man, this was maybe one of the most exciting announcements of this week for me. June 24th, Milestone through Kino Lorber is putting out Made in New Jersey films from Fort Lee, America's first film town. This is going to cover 1909 to 2015 with a couple documentaries. This has a before Hollywood disc and after Hollywood disc, some documentary pieces all about Fort Lee. It was already a favorite location for New York filmmakers when Mark Dintenfass arrived in 1910 and established Champion as the first of many studios in that sleepy town. Biograph Eclair, Kalem Fox, and Universal soon followed, making Fort Lee in New Jersey the birthplace of the American motion picture industry. I want this for sure.
From Fort Lee to Gigli, New Jersey cinema at its finest.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Yeah, this looks great. June 24th. I need this one.
This is the kind of thing that I think is important to have on the shelf, but not necessarily to ever watch. Not the New Jersey thing. Go back. That's what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm not done. Let's go back.
Okay, I'm trying to go back. I was too busy responding to something.
So, wait, this is documentaries or is it like actual films from the era?
These are actual shorts from the era.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean then.
And current documentaries, like The Champion from 2015.
Okay, fine. Watch it. This looks great. I'm going to get it for class and stuff.
This looks like something you should own and never watch. Okay, fine. Watch your disc. God dang it.
Hey, you know what you definitely should watch? Sugar Hill, baby.
Sugar Hill, number 32 in the Kino Cult line, coming on June 24th on Blu-ray. I believe all of this is carried over from the previous Blu-ray release. We got an audio commentary with Howard S. Berger, Steve Mitchell, and Nathaniel Thompson. Another audio commentary with the director, some interviews. Why should everybody watch Sugar Hill, Will?
It's awesome. I think that it's one of the better zombie films of the era. It kind of goes back to the original voodoo origins, and it very explicitly connects the zombies to, the transatlantic slave trade. And it's also funny and campy. It also has the great character Baron Samedi. And whenever I show this in class, I don't say anything about Baron Samedi. I just wait for somebody to flip out because they know him from The Princess and the Frog. And another fun fact, directed by Paul, what's his name? Paul, say it out loud.
Maslansky.
Maslansky. I was going to say Mazursky. Wrong one. Paul Maslansky, whose other big claim to fame is producing Police Academy. And so it's weird to see a guy do a film that is so, socially conscious of the history of zombie lore and connects it to the contemporary racial tensions of 1974. And then he's like, you know what I want to do next? A movie about a bunch of wacky cops who are constantly roughing up civilians and breaking the law. Nevertheless, I'll say for the record, I love Police Academy. Don't get me wrong. The whole franchise, but it's a strange, juxtaposition of films.
Yeah, quite a difference. Next up is Revolver. This is coming from
All right.
I'm carrying on. I let you speak on it.
Sugar Hill. If you don't already have it, it's one of the most important films announced this week.
Revolver is the next title. This is from Wellgo USA as an Amazon exclusive release, which is odd. They don't normally do that through Wellgo, so curious why that is happening.
So The Dead Zone and Revolver. I think my little conspiracy theory is beginning to come together.
Damn it, Will.
Continue, my friend.
This is a BDR only on this one, so not going to be pressed. You can
Right,
pre-order this now.
It's a ghost Blu-ray. You assemble it at home on your 3D printer.
Oh, man. Wow. Private Club. This was announced a while back, but there was no details on it. As it turns out, there's just no bonuses, as far as I can tell. No special features on this. This is coming from 88 Films in the UK on June 23rd. If you're in the US, this was previously released by Mondo Macabro in the Max Picus collection, and you may already have the film.
There actually are bonus features, but you have to be a member.
Got it.
Yeah. Which is why you don't know that there's actually an essay by Alexandra Heller-Nicholas.
Oh, man. You're going to make people go look for it now. All right, Warner Archive. We got a handful of announcements. What's odd is I only saw this one at first and then went and posted some other announcements and then realized, oh, wait, Warner Archive announced a bunch of stuff. So this first one, this is coming on May 27th on 4K and Blu-ray, and it is a movie called High Society from 1956. Tell us about High Society, Will.
Oh, man, my third favorite, Tracy Lord. This is a musical remake of A Philadelphia Story. That's all you need to know. I mean, it's nowhere near the quality of Philadelphia Story, but it's fun.
This is starring Bing Crosby, Grace Kelly, Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
We can confirm now, it seems like, Fidelity in Motion is going to be doing all of the Warner Archive 4Ks, which is really nice to hear, considering how great their work is when they author. On this, we got a featurette, Cole Porter in Hollywood, True Love, 1956 premiere newsreel. We've got MGM CinemaScope cartoon Millionaire Droopy, audio-only promo spots featuring Crosby, Kelly, and Sinatra, and some original trailers. How do you feel about this as their second choice for 4K from Warner Archive?
It's not one of my favorite movies, but it's a important movie and worth restoring, and I think it'll look great. What was the first one?
The Searchers.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, obviously. That's...
The big thing about this, though, is this film had never even been released on Blu-ray. So this is a pretty big upgrade for this one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's definitely a pickup.
Before we finish, the Warner Archives got a couple other extras. Welgo on May 27th is releasing a 4K and a Blu-ray release of The Prosecutor from 2024. This is directed and starring Donnie Yen. It looks, supposedly, it's a pretty great crime thriller and courtroom drama packed into one.
I'll give that a watch for sure.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty incredible. And then, Four Flies on Grey Velvet, the Argento film, getting a 4K and Blu-ray release from Shameless over in the UK on April 28th. You can pre-order this now. This 4K edition is encoded from the 4K restoration of the original elements. And this does have an exclusive interview with Argento. Also has an exclusive interview with the star Michael Brandon.
Huh.
And a bunch of other archival extras, plus a poster, a couple art cards, and a serialized limited collector's slipcase.
So Shameless never had the best reputation for the quality of their Blu-rays.
Correct.
What about their 4Ks? Are these getting... is this a new leaf?
Well, not only just the 4Ks, but even their Blu-rays over the last couple of years have improved, but primarily because they are licensing better transfers from other people. They're not doing the transfers themselves.
I see.
It does not say it's from a new restoration. It just says it's a 4K restoration of the film. So to me, that screams it's probably the exact same restoration as the Severin one. All right. Going to our next one. Turbine over in Germany is releasing another 3D title, and it's one of Will's favorites. It's the Super Mario movie from 2023. This is coming on April 17th, and you can order this already off of the site. Will, how do you feel about the Super Mario Brothers movie?
I took my daughter to it. Oh, my God. I mean, visually inventive. That's all
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as stuff like that goes, I mean, I didn't have to sit. I mean, I sat through the Trolls movies, way worse than that. The Sing movies, and I put.
You don't like the Sing movies?
Oh my God! Maybe if they had better songs, I don't know.
All right. Carrying on to the rest of the Warner Archive titles.
Speaking of singing.
These are all coming on May 27th on Blu-ray, all in the U.S. The first one, La Vie en Rose, with Marion Cotillard. This is listed as the extended version for 140 minutes. That's the only version I've ever known, so I'm not sure if there was another version that was different here. Do you know anything about the history behind that one?
No, but I can tell you that when I was in college working at a video store, you know how back in the day on the new release wall, there'd be like 100 copies of whatever studio direct is coming out. And then there'd be like movies that got 5 or 6 copies. And then there'd be movies that get 1 copy.
Yep.
La Vie en Rose got 1 copy, but it got rented like every day.
Constantly.
And I was constantly putting it back. And I never saw it. That like cover art is definitely imprinted in my brain. So now I'm going to get a chance to finally not only see it, but see it unrated.
From Warner Archive. And restored very well, I'm sure.
Extended. We'll see what Edith Piaf was doing after hours, I guess.
Also has a featurette on here called Stepping into Character and a trailer. Next up is Three Comrades from 1938 with Robert Taylor, Margaret Sullivan. This one does not have any extras, but glad to see it getting a release here.
Well, I would have gotten on there. Is that the Frank Borzage film?
It is.
Yeah, I would have gotten on there to talk about him. Great director. To me, it's worth picking up just because he made it and I haven't seen it.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Even though apparently it is about a bunch of commies. Just kidding, it's not.
Next is Mystery Street from 1950 with Ricardo Montalban. This one, we've got a feature commentary by Elaine Silver and Elizabeth Ward, Murder at Harvard featurette, and then some classic MGM cartoons, Little Quacker and Tom and Jerry in the Hollywood Bowl.
Little Quacker.
I didn't name it.
I love this movie. I like John Sturges in general. This has been DVD only on a double feature with Active Violence by Fred Zinnemann. So this is a major release for me. This is a really fun movie.
4K restoration of the best surviving elements on this one too.
Yeah, and it's one of the first movies to do like CSI type forensic stuff.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I love the cover on this one too. This poster is nice. Then Lean on Me from 1989 with the one and only Morgan Freeman coming on Blu-ray as well. Also a 4K scan of the OCN. No extras on this one, but this is one that I know a lot of people love. Should go good with a couple of the other films they've been releasing lately that are of this ilk.
Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yeah, well, this is another Snapcase DVD I can finally retire. I like Lean on Me. It's wrong, But sometimes I like to see teachers just beat the shit out of kids to make them do their work, you know?
That was not what I expected that to go to. Yeah, you know what? We're probably never going to get Dangerous Minds on a Blu-ray, will we?
Oh, that's okay as far as I'm concerned. But my favorite part is the way he's like this inspiring preacher and stuff. And what he does, and like his main thing is to like put chains on all the fire exits. Is he an inspiring teacher or a mass murderer?
Stay tuned to find out.
Jeez.
Then they are doing a Rhapsody in Blue from 1945. You've got Robert Alda in this one, Charles Coburn, some other names. This is going to have the extended pre-release version on this one. New HD master from a 4K scan of the original nitrate negative and nitrate lavender. This is going to be
fire, baby.
161 minutes, including the overture and newly discovered footage. No extras on this because that is a lot already in this film.
I don't really care about this one.
Okay, I'll keep going. This is one of the more exciting announcements for this week. In 2025, in the second half, new Australian boutique label New Wave Video is releasing Rubber's Lover from 1996 on Blu-ray. This is the brand new boutique label from John Matthews, who's been on the show quite a few times. You can find him over at the Imprint Cast and Indicator Cast. He's the one that's working on that Anchor Bay documentary that came over here with Danny and filmed everything.
Cool.
Restoring this from the original camera and sound negatives. This is from the same director that did Pinocchio 964 or 964 Pinocchio. This is, oh, look at that. John's even watching live right now. Of course, John.
Hey.
This is a big deal. This is something that he's been waiting a long time to be able to announce this yet. It's going to be stacked with new art, new essays, new extras. Michelle Kisner is writing an essay on this one. We've got announcement 2 and 3 coming in the next couple weeks. John, best of luck. I really hope this goes very well. I know this is a hell of a first title to announce. A lot of people expected this to never get an HD release, so this is very, very neat. Yeah, this is cool. Next up, Law and Order from 1932, getting a Blu-ray release from Kino on June 17th. We had talked about this before, but this is now with all the extras listed and a release date and everything. The extras on this will include Without Honor, a Western. There's Pulp asking about a Western. It's a Western from 1932 starring Harry Carey that's 60 minutes long. The Library of Congress is giving that to them. We got an audio commentary on Law & Order with Max Allan Collins, the author of Road to Perdition, with Heath Holland from Serial at Midnight. Audio commentary for Without Honor by Toby Rohn, and then a conversation with Bertrand Tavernier about Law & Order. And this looks to be a pretty loaded classic release for Kino, and they normally don't do that for the titles like this.
I'm into it.
Yeah, this is a big, big deal. So glad you are. Walter Houston, John Houston, good stuff. Hey, wanted to shout out Karma Records in Warsaw, Indiana is now carrying the Physical Media Advocate. If you are in the area, go check them out. Tell John that I sent you. We'll take good care of you. They've got a lot of really good stuff. You can find it there.
Warsaw, Indiana.
I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1997 is getting a 4K Steelbook on June 24th from Sony. This had already had a 4K release, but now it is coming in a Steelbook. They've already released the second one on a 4K release, so I imagine that will likely get a Steelbook at some point as well.
I remember seeing that in the theater when it first came out.
I was about to say, is this a movie you hate? Because it seems like a movie you'd hate.
Well, here's how I saw it. I like to do that thing where you pay for a movie and then you watch that movie and then you sneak into the theater for another movie.
Of course, yeah.
And I would do that all the time. And so I went to see Dirty Work, the Norm Macdonald movie.
Nice.
And I was like the only person in the theater, laughing my ass off because, of course, it's a work of staggering genius.
That movie's amazing, yeah.
And then I went to see I Know What You Did Last Summer right afterwards. And I also found I Know What You Did Last Summer to be kind of funny.
Not for the same reasons, I assume.
When Jennifer Love Hewitt is like screaming into nothingness, like, what do you want? Huh? You know, I remember,
Oh, man.
I remember I was sitting next to somebody in that movie, and there was one part where a character is trying to like tiptoe through a bathroom, and there's a toothbrush. And I remember turning to the person next to me and going like, shh, 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 shh. That's my main memory of seeing that movie.
Oh man, I still want to know
a little
how.
crop humor.
Did you see the sequel to this?
I Still Know.
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
Yep.
I remember. I remember when the sequel was announced and we were all making jokes about what the title should be. Especially for the third one. But yes, I saw the second one. Couldn't tell you a thing about it.
There's a hilarious scene with Jack Black in it for no reason whatsoever.
No, I don't.
Jack Black with dreadlocks.
What? Okay.
Next up, April 22nd, Tribeca Films is putting out Tendaberry on an Amazon exclusive Blu-ray.
How could this fit in? Well, she's a strong black woman, it looks like.
Did you see what the film's about? When her boyfriend returns to Ukraine.
Oh, no. If I'm not back on the next show, somebody look for me. I've been extraordinarily renditioned.
He's been defenestrated from a window. When her boyfriend returns to Ukraine to be with his ailing father, 23-year-old Dakota navigates heartbreak in the midst of her South Brooklyn universe, creating a lyrical glimpse of young adulthood and a reflection on the anxiety that can arise from not knowing what comes next.
Yeah, I think these are adding up. It's a tapestry. It's a tapestry.
And that is it for the week.
What?
Finally, that is it.
We're done? I feel like I'm just getting started.
Thank goodness you are not.
I was finally starting to warm up. I might tell a good joke at some point.
As far as what is coming out next week, let me fix my screen because it is not showing up properly. 1 second.
Wow.
I'm sorry. All right. Here we go. Wanted to remind everybody.
Next one.
I got a second screen that I'm using for the first time. Reanimator is going to be shipping soon from Ignite Films, the new 4K version of Reanimator. Nice. No guarantee that it will be April 3rd, which is today, because as far as I'm aware, nobody has gotten a shipping notice yet. But that should be shipping soon, so if you want that, go take a look. And now it's what's really coming out next week.
Wait, where's that Macbeth? What was that? Up? Oh, which Macbeth is that?
2016, Giuseppe Verdi.
Wait, that's not the one that Dario Argento directed? Is it?
Let me see.
Is that a new edition?
It does not say anything about Argento. Wow. Stage director Christophe Loy.
Well, that doesn't. Continue.
All right, next week. Quite a lot here. The Long Kiss Goodnight 4K from Arrow, Just Friends from Warner Archive, Some Like It Hot 4K from Kino, Hard Boiled, the 3-film collection from Elaine Corneau from Radiance. Sorority House Massacre 4K from Scream Factory. Film Noir, The Dark Side of Cinema, number 25 from Kino. The Vordelak from Oscilloscope. Kamen Rider Trilogy. Whoops, that jumped. That one is also coming. Jade from Wellgo USA. Revolver, like we mentioned tonight, is also coming out. But that is it. There's not a whole lot all next week. Long Kiss Goodnight, one that I definitely had to get, though. So I've got that on the way. Anything for you, sir?
Actually, I think Just Friends is kind of funny. That's 2 good romantic comedies with Amy Smart. Also in Road Trip, of course.
Yeah.
Hard Boiled. Obviously, I'm much more interested in Sorority House Massacre 2. Where's that one? Restore the Wynorski verse. I'll definitely pick up the Film Noir box set. I'm going to get them all just so that I can show them to you.
It's going to be like an entire wall of film.
Also, want to second Christopher Silvestri's suggestion. I would love to do a commentary for The Apprentice. I don't even need to see it. I just record me for however long the movie is.
All right.
That would be so ironic if Just Friends was delayed again. Because you know how it goes. It's like, would you ever think about? Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah. Hey, hell of a week this week, huh?
Oh my goodness. And it hasn't even ended. I am going to be a doting father and take my little one to see the Minecraft movie this weekend. That's going to happen.
Sorry.
That's going to happen. I'm okay with it. I've made my peace. She also wants to see Dogman, and I would much rather see Minecraft. So
the Dogman movie gave me a freaking headache. It is so frenetic. It is crazy how quick everything moves in that movie.
Gross. You know, the thing about Captain Underpants and Dogman that really gets to me is the guy who wrote those and I had the same dream growing up. And he drew pictures of a guy in his underwear. And I worked really, really hard and studied and sacrificed. And this is where we are.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about it often.
Let's see. Anything else that we haven't talked about?
Captain Underpants. And then to a spinoff like Ollie's got Dogman. And it's not even, what a genius. The conceit is Dogman is going to suck because it was written by a kid. And then people read it and like, oh, this is amazing. It's a grown man pretending to write like a child. Oh. I agonize over every word for months.
It's true.
What are you talking about? What's happening right now?
Nothing.
Super diaper baby? Jesus Christ. I do have a great idea for a children's book though.
Okay.
Like Missy Elliott, copywritten, so don't copy me. But the idea is for a book called Fiona, the Furry Fairy. And it's about body acceptance and bullying. Fiona is a fairy who's born furry. And all the other fairies make fun of her because of her fur. And she's got to learn to accept the fact that she's hirsute. And with the help of some anthropomorphic animals, she learns to accept her body and love herself as a beautiful creature of the forest.
And when is this releasing?
I feel like I should. That's probably good, right?
It's not terrible. I expected much worse when that started.
Yeah, you thought you were gonna. You thought it was gonna be a joke, but it's an actual idea.
Yeah.
Uncle Jess kids book. That's great. No, it's about a hairy fairy.
Can it? Well, I don't know how you do this in a book, but I was going to say to make it sound like Harry Carey.
Oh yeah, she goes to some like old fairy, and he's like, "Hey."
Oh man!
You ever shave your back?
I will always love when Will did that on not you, Will Ferrell on SNL, and he did the "What's your favorite planet?" Mine's the moon.
Hey, I would tell you something about hairy people. When I was in high school, my first job, I worked for a flower shop. And, you did the flower displays and bouquets and arrangements and whatnot, but we also had to take care of the greenhouses and do deliveries and go places to do like, aesthetic landscaping. So anyway, me and this guy are driving, and we were both in high school. I think he was a senior and I was a junior or something like that. And he was telling me about some hot date he had going on that night. And we get back, and he was like, "Hey, man, why don't you come back to the house to help me nair my back?" That's a direct quote that has stuck with me for 30 years. And you know what one of the biggest regrets I have over these 30 years?
What's that?
Saying no, I had to go. I feel like I might have learned something about myself a lot earlier than I did.
When you were... I should have let that sit longer than I didn't. I'm sorry. Yes, Chris, Will is on a beach right now.
I am on a beach.
But I got to ask the important question. One of your duties when you were at this flower store, were you also the local fire marshal?
Flower shop.
Sorry, flower shop. Because from what I hear, when they hire you for that, they say only you can prevent florist fires.
Mm.
Was that a reach?
That was... that was a reach. That was everything I can think of is like so filthy. I don't really want to say it.
Sounds thorny.
Man, to nair your whole back though, I bet that burns.
Oh God, I can't imagine.
Jeez.
All right, Dr. Dodson. Been a hell of a week. Long show tonight. We're going to end on talking about nairing somebody's back.
We wanted to make the show 20% longer for free. It's a statement. It's a statement.
Oh wow. Let's see. Any other SFP things you want to talk about that you didn't get a chance to in the last month?
I don't know what's out. Can we say?
Yeah.
Can we announce anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Inflatable sticks to all the wastelands. That's the newest thing. Freckle Max and the Spooks. Check them out.
Check them out. Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Oh, Devil's Sword. It's gonna be great.
Wow. I wish they knew why you were laughing. The other aspect, I know that right now it's like a shit show out there surrounding all the tariff talk, and it's not a great time. If you want somewhere fun to hang out, come hang out in the Discord. Patreon link in the description below. Check out the magazine, Physical Media Advocates. Issue 17 is shipping. I should have one in front of me to hold it. I got that in. Subscribers to the Patreon. That's been shipping this week. You should be getting it in your hands the next day or two. That's all we got. Will, thanks for hanging out tonight on the beach. Thanks for bringing your sister on.
Thank you all for your patience and kind hearts.
And to that we say, see you next Thursday. Have a good one. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share with someone else that may appreciate this.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror. We'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description